Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm going to continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're going to give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
That's not what I want, guys. That's not what I want. Seriously, that's not what I want. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm doing a watch along my sports channel. Please subscribe. Please. I'm doing a watch along for hockey, NHL Game 5 between the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers. And if you're in hockey, great for you. Also, we're going to talk about anything, really. We could talk about anything. We could talk hockey, but we could talk about anything, really. Anything. We could talk about anything. We're going to talk. Yeah. So if you're interested, talk about anything you want, really. What I want. Okay? It's not just strictly a sports thing. We talk about anything. We can talk about sports too. We could talk about sports. It's just free for all. Free for all. Really. So yeah, come join the fun with me, guys. It doesn't start for a while. Hey, that's not a strike, ump. I'm sorry. That's not a strike. So, yeah. It pretty much is. It's the watch along. Yeah. We're going to chill for a long time. So, yeah. This is a chill stream, guys. Basically, it's a watch along for the hockey game, but also we could talk about anything, really. Anything goes. I do it like tomorrow. Oh, come on. So you're all, if you got the invitation, you're all pretty much not on. Tony's gonna have a stream later tonight. But yeah, I do need to get the watch hours up, man, on this channel. And subs up. Subs too. I need 500 subs. That's the goal now. That's off the plate ump. Soap opera. No, he did not go. But yeah, you're all allowed on, guys. It's pretty much chill stream. Ugh. Well, yeah, we're talking about hockey. You know what? I was really thinking about doing a Let's Talk Pop episode today actually. But I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow, actually. Or not Thursday though. Maybe Thursday. After I come back from the Flash. Yeah, so I'm seeing the Flash Thursday, so I'm looking for a Let's Talk Pop during these next 2 days, either tomorrow or Thursday. Then Saturday, we're going to do another Let's Talk Pop episode. We're going to talk about the Flash spoiler review Saturday, obviously, on my main channel. And yeah, so make sure you see it. But yeah, we're going to Let's Talk Pop tomorrow or Thursday. Thursday, well, I'm seeing the Flash on Thursday, so I probably will make a review video on non-spoilers, obviously. I might do it out of the theater reaction. I haven't done it for the past 2 movies I've seen, but I think for this movie, I might do it. As soon as I'm done seeing the movie in the theaters, I'll do a reaction as a short, as a YouTube short from my main channel. And then I'll do the review as I get home, after I eat dinner, and I'll get home, do a review. No spoilers, obviously. And then Friday, I don't know. I don't know Friday. But yeah, Saturday, obviously, let's talk pop. Will be a non-spoiler. Will be a spoiler review of the film. And let's talk pop. It's going to feature a lot of stuff before episode 36. 37 will be the spoiler review. Episode 36. We're gonna talk Disney. And why I'm going to talk about Disney is because of their announcements for their major franchises, their major studios that they own: Star Wars, MCU, Marvel Studios, and Avatar. Okay, especially Marvel's getting, like, specifically Marvel and Star Wars, but Avatar too. We're gonna talk about that. Oh, I think it. Yeah, I might have sent the wrong link. Sorry about that. I'm blind and I'm sorry. I might have sent you the link to Max's stream by
I
accident.
didn't even click on that link.
Okay.
I just clicked on the one you just sent, so
There's
it's okay.
there's stuff going on in Max's TM group. It's kind of private, so that's why. Yeah, it's something to do with Anthony and some of the people in the group. But that's different. That's something else. That's why I sent privately a link to.
Right. I don't know any of that. So, but yeah, I just clicked the one that you just.
I told Anthony to take it up with Max whenever he can.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sorry about that. I thought I sent you this link. I guess I made sure I sent you the link, the proper link.
Right.
So how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Nothing much going on.
Nothing special?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. No Zelda today?
Well, I was gonna talk to you and play Zelda.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw some of the news because we can talk about anything, right?
Yeah, it's basically there's no topic per se, really.
Right, because I wanted to hear your thoughts on the news that came out today.
The Disney
delay.
news?
Yes.
Yeah, the Disney news. Marvel, I think, was kind of suspected. I think based on I think the strike really hurt Marvel. I mean, I think the strike hurt Marvel, the pandemic hurt Marvel, and there's a lot of in-house stuff that's hurting Marvel too.
Mm-hmm.
I said in my video, I did do basically a 7-minute video, and I basically said with Marvel Studios, a lot of issues since 2020. Basically, since 2020. Right. Pandemic.
Yeah, really. Right.
Strike. Quality. Over quantity. Quantity over quality. Happiness. It's and these delays, look, Captain America is getting moved to basically August or September, whatever, July or August.
July.
July.
Yeah,
okay.
I think someone, I think it was the discussion film. They got it wrong. It was July, not August.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Deadpool's getting moved up.
Yeah, that to me is a little concerning.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, I'm concerned about that too. I know they're filming, but because
I mean, are they anticipating the strike to be done?
But
after the summer? Because if it's done after the summer, right? All of that, I don't know. It seems like that is not a good release date for that movie.
No.
It's either they're sticking with the script, but then if the strike does end, is Ryan Reynolds going to ask for rewrites?
There's no sign of progress anywhere right now. There's no progress with the writers in the studios. And once the actors join, if they decide to they voted, right? But they can't go on strike until basically the end of the month or beginning of July, right? That's when they officially could go on strike. If they join, you can't do anything. Everything will be shut down. Everything.
Right.
Right? And obviously Kang Dynasty, the Avenger movies will be safe because they're in the long one, right? They're in the long one.
They may get delayed again.
There's a possibility with that. Right? There's a possibility they may get delayed. Yes. It's just that the next 2 years could be really bad for Marvel.
Well, I already think it's pretty bad for Marvel. I mean, I just think it's bad luck or something. But there's so many controversies going on where you're there's obviously something. I don't know what it is, but it seems like I don't think Marvel's gonna last long. I kept saying this. I completely forgot Secret Invasion is coming out next week. But I've already said I have really no interest in that. It it looks a little boring, and it's not really what I wanted from a Secret Invasion TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of watching it and complaining, I'm just not going to watch it at all, unfortunately. So, because like I said, a lot of these Marvel shows have let me down, and I'm not too interested in them. The only one I will definitely watch for sure is Loki season 2.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that one, but other than that,
and it's been confirmed.
Not really a lot of interest.
It's also been confirmed Harrison Ford will turn into the Red Hawk.
Yeah, and
that himself.
That movie, the movies coming out in 2024, I said have the likelihood of not being so great because of the writer strike, and they're still trying to keep some of these movies in 2024, like Thunderbolts. I don't know why Thunderbolts is in 2024. They should just delay it to 2025.
They were supposed to start filming, right?
Yeah.
Really, this summer, right? And they said no, until the strike is over.
Yeah, and then they moved it to what? December.
Yeah, December, which is weird for Marvel because Marvel doesn't really release movies in December.
Yeah, something about that just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think that's gonna be a good day for that movie. I don't really see the appeal of watching something like that in December. Just seems really weird.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they delayed Blade, which I mean, like, it is a little bit weird because, like, isn't the script supposed to be done? Like, that was supposed to come out right when. Oh well, it's not even filming, right?
Was it like? But didn't they say they had something, and then a week later the strike happened or something?
Yeah, something like that. It has to be. A lot of these Marvel productions just seem there's too much going on. I mean, we've said this before, but like, it's just I just don't get what is going on. Like,
George,
why are they greenlighting all these shows?
They're not coming out at the same time. Avatar 3 is 2025.
Yeah, Avatar's been delayed significantly. It's coming out 3 years from 2.
The whole thing is the last movie is 8 years.
Yeah, by the time they finish all these movies, it's going to be. They said 22 years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
5 movies.
That's a long time for 5 movies. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it took basically 12 or a little bit over a decade to get from first to second movie, but like.
Right.
Yeah, and like
13 years.
You know what? I'm glad Marvel is scheduling to go back to 3 movies a year because 2024 they had scheduled beforehand was 4 movies a year. You're going back to be honest,
2024 should be the first time Marvel releases 2 movies. They should take Captain America, put that in November, and leave Deadpool in May. That's what they should do. If they really care about preserving, their brand, I would move those movies. Captain America, they knew, and I said this too, right? Captain America 4, that's not going to do very well. I don't see that movie doing very well. Might as well put it in November.
I thought Avatar 3 is pretty much done filming.
No, it's not. They still have to do some filming.
Oh.
But yeah, they still got to do some stuff. Because they it was kind of like assumed that 2 and 3 were shot all together, but it wasn't. Okay.
They made it sound like it was, yes.
Yeah. They always make it sound like they're shooting these movies all together, but they're really not.
Man, I want it's Fantastic Four has been moved to May in 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, that was pretty interesting.
So it's good.
It's
definitely gonna be a third movie there. I think they want Spider-Man 4. I mean, that's a Sony thing, but it still counts as MCU.
Yeah, I think they want Spider-Man. We're gonna see Spider-Man 4 is gonna come out maybe 2025.
Tom Holland wants to play Spider-Man forever. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, Tom Holland can't do anything else. Because all this other stuff.
He really can't do anything else. You're right.
His show Crowded Room, right? That came on Apple. Not very. It's not hers. Not doing very well.
No.
All the other movies is not doing very well. Like Spider-Man is going to be like no disrespect to Tobey Maguire. Like Tobey Maguire's been in some other movies. He's been in some like The Great Gatsby has been, but he hasn't really hit it out of the park out of Spider-Man. He hasn't become a huge star out of Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield has made a nice niche for himself out of Spider-Man. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's
most successful.
Tobey Maguire was never that successful outside of Spider-Man. So it's just it is what it is.
Yeah, like Andrew Garfield has done the best outside of Spider-Man of the three.
Yeah,
like.
Well, I don't think Tom Holland was that good of an actor, to be honest. Anyway,
he was really young at the time.
Yeah, he was really young when he started Spider-Man, and I think maybe that's probably why people just see him as Spider-Man, and he hasn't really done much. So,
and the problem with Andrew Garfield was he was too good looking to be Peter Parker.
Well, in the first, because I was watching the first movie, he's kind of creepy in that movie. Like you can kind of see why he's not, like he's not popular. Like, yeah, maybe he is good looking, but he obviously has some like, he's not too socialized. You know what I mean? Even when he talks to Uncle Ben, he's kind of like can't.
Yeah,
really
Tobey Maguire
played.
Tobey Maguire played it. The Spider-Man, the Peter Parker, we all like respect.
Yeah, most people know, right?
Yeah,
the really nerdy, stereotype. Yeah. Well, Andrew Garfield, I think, was more like a modern version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't think those people. I mean, they exist, but not really. I think, but even Tom Holland, like, because I was technically in high school when the Tom Holland movie came out, right?
17,
I was at the tail end. Yeah, I was 17. So when that movie came out, that was actually really accurate to how high school was like.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So if they do a live action Miles movie, I hope it's kind of similar, but we'll see if they'll even do Miles in live action.
Yeah, I hope. The Prowler, the Prowler did say he has a nephew, but I feel like well, it's been years, right? You never know. He could be older now, right? Like
right.
Like you don't know. But yeah, I agree. Like Garfield's definitely out of the three has made the most success. That had the best success of the three.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely the better actor. Definitely.
Yeah, of the three. Yeah, definitely.
Would you want him to come back?
I don't know if he wants to come back. I don't know if Tobey wants to come back.
Right. I mean, I think if they were smart, I think they should do Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. I think that might be more successful than Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, to be honest. Unless they have like a really interesting idea, I can't really see how Spider-Man 4 will top No Way Home at the box office. Maybe story-wise it'll be better because, I already said I don't really care for No Way Home, but I don't know about the box office. It's like a totally different thing.
I definitely agree. But if they bring back Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I want him to have a family. Like he's married to MJ, has a kid. Like basically the Spider-Verse Peter B. Parker, basically like that. Because you could tell in Doctor Strange, he's older.
Yes.
And right, so yeah, I like to see that. But yeah, like Tom Holland basically. But should he really be bidding while this writing strike is going? Should he really be saying, "Oh, he's really interested in Spider-Man 4," like the blah blah? Should he really be saying that? Because Tom Holland has a problem keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah, I don't think he should. They're probably pissed off at him that he's like, "Oh yeah, it's coming along nice." It's like, well, it's not coming along nice because they had to stop. You know what I mean?
It's like he doesn't care about NDA.
Right. Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
Hey George, what's up?
What's up, George?
I'm just Shannon Sharp. Did he get a new co-host, or was the plan after?
You know what? I don't know, nor do I care. I'm never watching Undisputed again.
Oh my god!
Screw Skip Bayless. You know, I want to see Charles Barkley beat him down in a room. like he threatened to.
I did Chat GPT today, and I put Skip Bayless's name in it.
Oh man!
Like, listen, you let go of a gem like Shannon Sharp. Hey, listen, Shannon, there's always a door open for movie talk. You would be better than most of the bums in this community.
Damn.
That's true. So I guess Doomcar. I guess they're not really selling Lucas back to George Lucas if Disney's announcing new dates for Star Wars.
Yeah, that was also another stupid announcement. Why was all those dates? You look at those dates and you're like, yeah, this is all getting moved again.
Yeah.
Like the Star Wars one is the most unbelievable one. Like, first off, okay, how we've never had two Star Wars movies come out in the same year, and they want to do one after how long would it be from 2019 to 2026? Is it 5-6 years?
7 years.
7 years. Okay, 7 years, right? So 7 years a hiatus, and you're gonna make two movies and put them in the same year? I don't believe that. I definitely do not believe that.
But they're trying to go the Marvel thing,
right? And then a year later, they're gonna have another movie.
My guess is they're gonna announce more shows.
They don't even really need more shows. Star Wars really needs to ease up on the gas.
I hope they don't do a Book of Fett season 2. No,
I don't think they will. That show was not good enough to get a season 2.
No, it was not.
Listen. I forgot the first half of that show. The second half, I forgot what happened once Mando, Ahsoka, and Luke Skywalker appeared.
I stopped watching it. I only went back to watch it because of Din Djarin.
Yeah,
and to be honest, at that point, I skipped all the stuff that was in between, went to that episode, and honestly, I still understood everything. It was kind of even pointless watching the whole show.
I wonder how Boba Fett fans feel about Boba Fett because he was boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was. I know
a lot of people love Boba Fett before that show, but I never saw the appeal for him. Like, what made this guy so special? He's just a bounty hunter with no map in the Star Wars universe.
No, you know what? That is a good point, but I think the show actually, and this is why the show is so boring, right? Is because they actually did have an interesting idea of making him kind of like a gang lord, a drug
gangster,
lord, right?
basically, yeah.
Yeah, but then they don't do anything with that. He becomes he's super passive. He's supposed to be doing everything right, and you're like, why? He was just like a bounty hunter, mercenary, like he doesn't care about morals or anything. He's going out there killing people, right? Like, for money. It's like, to be honest, if there's one thing that I feel totally disconnected with in terms of the community, it's the Star Wars community, because I don't even would consider myself now a Star Wars fan, because there's very few things I like from Star Wars. Like, even that Star Wars game that they just showed, I couldn't believe. Did you see the game? Yeah, did you see the gameplay?
Yeah.
This is my opinion, right? Because I know this is a controversial opinion. People were excited for that. Like that's a game that you will play. I was in people were saying that looked better than Starfield. I was like, wow, we are living in an upside down world if you think that looked better than Starfield.
Starfield looks like Game of the Year candidate with the stuff they put in that game.
Yeah, that Outlaw game that looked like generic AI. It was like the main character looks generic.
I know people were
Sorry.
hyped with the Avatar game, but I'm sorry, the graphics don't look that great.
I thought the same thing too. I still might check it out. But I didn't think the graphics were impressive. Something about it looked a little off.
Yeah,
I was like, this is weird. But definitely that Star Wars game. I'm outside of Andor. I think I'm gonna have to drop Star Wars. I'm really considering just dropping everything Disney related anyway. Like it's gotten to that point where I'm like I'm really not interested. Like there's a few things here and there, but I'm not gonna watch everything anymore because it's really not worth my time, and a lot of the times it's really boring. It's just boring. It's kind of unfortunate. It's like at least make an entertaining show, right? But no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine if it's if other people like it, like that's good. But like I'm definitely gonna have to check out, and I think Disney, they're kind of stupid for making buying IPs and then milking them. Like what did you think? Like everybody was gonna watch 5 Star Wars and 5 Marvel movies a year? Like what were you thinking? Like it doesn't make sense. Like now they're not special. They're just
at this point you're doing it to get money.
Yeah.
The thing is, at a certain point, people are gonna get bored of the product, and you ain't gonna make money off it.
Yeah.
You like at a certain point, how long until like people get bored of Marvel, which we're starting to see? How long until people get bored of Star Wars?
The only people that not get bored is probably kids.
Or the diehard fans. Yeah, and the kids grow up, right? Okay. Like the diehard fans, like they are the ones like they're on Twitter and they're like, there's no superhero fatigue. Well, no shit, there's no superhero fatigue because you guys literally are an echo chamber. No one in your group is gonna admit that there's superhero fatigue. Go talk to someone who doesn't really care, right? They're gonna tell you.
Nope, the Flash is not tracking very well.
Yeah, the Flash is not tracking. I keep hearing mixed things about the Flash. I really need to see this movie for myself.
Oh yeah.
Because like I'm hearing a lot of people like, and I believe that they truly believe this, think it's a great movie, and then there's some people who are like, it's okay, but it's like I feel like it's a movie that people are not going to agree on.
There's people who lie about seeing the movie.
I think Twitter is going to flip on the movie. That's my big prediction. I'm already seeing people who saw the movie, right? They loved Guardians of the Galaxy. They loved Into the Spider-Verse. And they saw The Flash, and they said The Flash is like one of the lowest DCU movies that they've seen, which kind of blows my mind, right? I'm like, this movie was supposed to be the best of the DCU movies, and you're telling me it's the worst ones? That's kind of crazy. And
it can
be
worse than Birds of Prey. I'm
sorry.
It can be worse than that.
Well, quick question. Here's the problem. You gotta. I feel like Ezra Miller. I think there's some people who also could be letting their bias against Miller. I'm not saying the movie's gonna be good.
I think it's that too.
I've seen a lot of reviews point out Ezra Miller, especially. It's like they're in there, which
there's biased reviews.
Like that, I do believe that there might be some biased reviews. I mean, I've been.
I do either want tomatoes,
but I think some people, the criticism that I heard is that people were kind of upset that the movie brings back a lot of people who obviously have passed away, right? And I kind of get that point, right?
Yeah.
I think Hollywood should move away from that, and this movie relies on that a lot. Surprisingly, I looked at who's in this movie in a cameo, and you're like, I'm kind of surprised. Like, I get it, makes sense that they would appear in the movie if this is like DC's No Way Home. But they could have get some other people, you know what I mean? You could have brought back Christian Bale, right? I'm not gonna spoil anything, right? So
Bale would not have come back.
Yeah,
he would have come back.
Well, they should have tried. Give him as much money as possible. I mean,
he would do better as in a small role here than he was as Gore.
Yeah, probably.
Because Gore was horrible, and that's technically
because it's like I watched some of the big like YouTube reviewers, and like some of them like Chris Stuckman and Sean Chandler actually like are hailing this as like one of the best DCEU movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
which is still.
Yeah, I mean like that's still like not a big bar, but
right.
Like I was kind of shocked. Sean Chandler actually said he preferred The Flash over No Way Home.
That's interesting.
That's an interesting take. Like he basically said like this film handled things a multiverse story better than No Way Home.
Right.
So I'm curious to see like how I think it's probably going to be better than Multiverse of Madness. Like that's probably it's probably hopefully.
Michael Shannon ripped the movie. Like seriously. Michael Shannon.
Yeah, it's Michael Shannon came out, and that was so weird. That didn't even make sense. Like I get it. He's maybe like he's a different type of actor. He's kind of a different generation. So, but like I still couldn't understand like why you would come out and basically like say like the movie's kind of like the premise of the movie at least is kind of stupid. Like I don't know why they would allow him to do that. It's like.
Didn't like a month ago he praised Andy Michiani?
I think so. I think he also praised Ezra Miller.
Like what the fuck? Like I'm sorry. Like that's contradicting everything he's basically said about because that's a director, man. Like that's if you say that you're kind of shitting on the director.
Well, yeah, he's shitting on the movie, right? The movie hasn't even come out yet, and he's basically saying, "Oh well, Man of Steel was better because it was more grounded, it was more interesting." And
I hate what I hate about that. It's like a certain fan groups using that, saying, "See, he loves our Lord and Savior." It's like that. That's what annoys me because it's like,
why does he mean it's more grounded? Like,
he's saying it's like he acting like it's a more sophisticated story, Man of Steel.
Like in other words, he's trying to say like the Flash.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact quote, but he was talking about how like the multiverse stories, like he's like they don't really have enough stakes, and I kind of get that. But at the same time,
I'm pretty sure this movie has a better chance of multiverse time travel stakes better than Marvel does.
Yeah, I mean there is an emotional core to it, right? It's about saving his mom. That's why people do like Flashpoint is because it was an interesting. I'm going to go back in time, and then everything has been like completely changed, which has been done before, right? We've seen that in Back to the Future too. That's not a crazy new idea, right? But it is still a very interesting idea. That
the only Marvel, it's like I think Marvel's only the movies. The movies Marvel's the only one where it doesn't really affect anything, which I think people did not like. But they had to get some way to defeat Thanos, and that's probably the only way to bring people back and defeat Thanos.
I'm not sure if we talked about this, and I don't even remember where I heard this, but did you hear that they said that the only reason why they even moved forward with the multiverse and Kang storyline was because of his performance in Loki? And so they changed everything because of his performance. I don't know who said that. I don't know where I heard that from, but if that is true, that has to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and it makes so much sense of why everything has been crap.
They must be kicking themselves, especially with what's going on with Jonathan Majors. It's like literally like the whole. It feels like this reminds me of the 2013 Lakers. Like this is good. This is like this is becoming a big mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All of this, Disney seems like they are desperate to get sold.
Like,
someone needs to buy them or something. It's crazy, man.
Only a few companies could buy Disney.
I know.
Disney,
well, that's how bad it is, right? It's like you need someone else bigger to buy you, and it's like there's nobody bigger than you besides
Amazon. Apple and Amazon could probably do it. Maybe Microsoft.
Does Apple really want to do it though?
No.
I think Apple is a more likely. They're very, there's a lot of history there. Yeah, they have a massive partnership. I mean, Pixar, they were under Apple for a good period of time, and they still have connections with Apple, right? So, I just can't see Apple wanting all that burden.
According to Doomcock, Disney's not doing very well, so it may happen.
Well, it is true. They're not doing well.
Listen to Doomcock's reasons, then you know as well.
Listen, I'm gonna say right now, I trust Doomcock more so than Sil and Mikey.
Well, he's right. They're not doing very well.
No,
in that regard.
I trust Doomcock.
Like, how do you like you got to remember, like they just closed that Star Wars hotel, right? It's like,
oh yeah,
they spent billions of well, not billions, but at least $1 billion making that, right? So, and then you just closed it after a year of it being open.
Yeah.
Not even a year. Yeah, that's very concerning. And then they're trying to blame it on Bob Chapek, and it's like, yeah, Bob Chapek was kind of a moron, right? But that wasn't his project, right? That was Bob Iger's project. So is Bob Iger now going to pretend like
where's the grass? I hope he's listening. He knows.
Yeah. Like what is going on? Like Bob, like is Bob Iger better be, trying to get Apple to buy them, because I don't see how Disney's going to last very long. This whole first off, the theme parks are getting really expensive. All these movies, that's where a bulk of their money comes from. These movies, is a Disney movie this year going to do well? It doesn't seem like it. Besides Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardians of the Galaxy, I still think could have done better. Everybody keeps saying everybody thought it was going to make $1 billion. It's not even going to. I don't even think it's going to get close to 900.
I don't think it's making 900.
Yeah. All those people who kept saying, I mean, I thought it was not even going to make 600. At least it crossed 600, but it's not going to make 900. Definitely.
It should have made 900 by now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're in the middle of June.
6-7 weeks, it would have made 900 by now.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, I think, crossed 900 this week last year. So
yeah, but I don't think Doctor Strange had much competition compared to Guardians. Because June is right.
No. It did. Jurassic World Dominion.
And that destroyed Doctor. Well, I mean, it destroyed Doctor Strange.
Unfortunately, it did, because that was a garbage movie.
It's a bad movie.
Yeah,
it's a really bad movie. Did you see it blinded?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was really bad.
Oh, it's really, really bad.
How do you waste the original cast on a Locust story?
Oh, and $1 billion.
Yeah, the Locust story was really dumb. I didn't really understand why they had the most simplest idea, like the dinosaurs are loose. Like
you had
something with that.
You had it on a table, and you basically said, "Nah, we're gonna do this Locust idea that for some reason." We think is a good idea, even though I think our general audience will be torn on it.
Right. It was a dumb creative decision, and well, no surprise, it was from Colin Trevorrow, who probably, hopefully, doesn't direct another movie again.
Oh my god!
Did
he do Fallen Kingdom?
The biggest hack. No, he did not do that movie.
That movie sucked too.
Yeah, that movie did suck too. These I really don't understand what is going on with that franchise.
Who did the first
I'm sure they're going to bring him back.
Who did the
Colin Trevorrow too.
That's actually pretty good. That was actually good though.
It was okay.
Oh my goodness, that moron Mercury is going after Michael Rosenbaum on Twitter.
Yeah, he said. I saw that. I saw that.
Oh, saying that he's mad that Zach wouldn't let him audition. You know what? Like. Rosenbaum's Luthor, I will take over Jesse Eisenberg's trash.
Yes,
Luthor. I'm sorry, I'm not even the biggest fan of Smallville.
Well, why?
You know what? He was
Luthor's not creepy.
He was one of the best things about that show.
Eisenberg's Luthor is creepy, man. Like it's like the way he acts, the way his mannerisms, like it's like get away from me, man. You're a creep.
It was kind of dumb that Mercury even said that. It seems like a massive reach. It's like,
well, I mean, Mercury has always said dumbass stuff.
Wozzebon,
the same person that said never forget on 9/11 and showed pictures of BBS.
Wozzebon is the best live action Luthor, and Clancy is the best non live action Luthor. Clancy Brown.
Right,
like,
yeah, in the animation.
I mean, I don't mind Gene Hackman's Luthor, but like, could have been more.
I like Gene Hackman, but like his Luthor, I had no problem with it. But he's just like Saturday morning cartoon villain.
Yeah, he is very Saturday. Yeah.
Not that it was a bad portrayal, but it didn't really stand out to me.
Jesse Eisenberg's Luthor was just creepy, man. Like you don't see this guy as a threat, like he's menacing as a threat. You see this guy as okay. I know he uses intelligence in the movie, right? But like, I want to see Luthor use everything, like not just his threat, not just him using his mind as his greatest strength, but also like go toe to toe with Superman in some way. Obviously, he cannot go toe to toe with strength and all that, but like find some way to go toe and toe, like Luthor in the comics or even some of the movies, animation. So he goes toe to toe, man. He fights.
Right.
He do stuff like that. I need like Jesse Eisenberg's Luthor is just not intimidating. He didn't have the size.
And well, to be fair to his Lex Luthor, right? He didn't really have much screen time.
Yes, true.
And so that's just the problem with the DCU. It's like there wasn't enough movies to really get a good grasp. A lot of the movies are crap. I really don't understand the obsession with it. It just wasn't good. And the audience rejected it. The box office for the Justice League, even if like you're seeing people go, oh well, the movie flopped because they knew Zack Snyder didn't direct it. Zack Snyder's name is on the movie. What are you talking about? Like they didn't. Exactly. If you're a general audience, you probably had no clue about the drama. We didn't even know really about the drama.
If you know, let's be real here. Let's be real here. The trailers still made it look like a Zack Snyder film.
Yes.
Like the trailer is still very much like a Zack Snyder film. Yeah, there were some more light moments in the trailer, but it still looked like a Zack Snyder film.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you know Zack Snyder's history of his movies, they're always decisive. They're always, what's the word? Decisive? No, decisive.
Sorry.
I know the word.
Decisive.
Yes, they're always right. People like Watchmen, for example. Watchmen, Sucker Punch. Like he's not like his films are not like they're not like unanimously loved by fans. You don't have like Dark Knight where what 90 more than 90% of people love Dark Knight. Some people don't like Dark Knight. Obviously, there's always gonna be a great, amazing film that's always be disliked by someone. But Zack Snyder's films, there's more.
But even if you find Dark Knight overrated, like most people will say Dark Knight was still a good movie. No, more people will say Dark Knight's a better movie than Man of Steel or any other Zack Snyder film.
Right.
Like Zack Snyder really had that film where majority of people would agree it's good.
I mean, people miss out on the overall majority opinion.
And there's people that I see on Twitter and in our community that praise that Army of Dead was a great movie. I'm like, Army of Dead might be a worse movie.
Let's make something clear. Look at a site like IMDb where it's more fan scores. Army of the Dead got like 5.9, I think, out of 10.
That's terrible.
I don't know anyone like. The general consensus is even if you like that movie wasn't that great. Like, it
was horrible. I think it's worse than this DC movies. I'm sorry, because at least you can understand the story, and this is DC movies or try to. Right. And this,
listen, I was disappointed in Army of the Dead because look, I actually love Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I actually think that's one of the best horror remakes that have ever come out. But so I was like, okay, Zack Snyder's returning to the zombie genre. And it was just a massive disappointment.
You could clearly tell story is not a strong suit.
Right. Well, remember who wrote the story for his 2004 Dawn of the Dead? It was James Gunn.
Guess he needs somebody like that.
Like James Gunn wrote that. And that's like one of his best reviewed movies ever. It's no coincidence when you get a good script writer.
I think
you'll have a good movie.
I mean, he had. Let's be honest. Didn't the one for Justice League and BVS? Didn't he write the script for? Didn't he also write the script? Chris Terrio did Star Wars.
Yeah, well,
by Skywalker.
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna say this. Like Chris Terrio, I think it was a fluke with Argo. I love Argo, but that was a fluke because everything else that he's written since then has not been that good.
Ben Affleck is a better director than Zack Snyder.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, when you write for a good director like Ben Affleck, yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I think this is one of my bold predictions, right? Because I keep seeing people talk about they're excited about Rebel Moon. I think Rebel Moon is going to be garbage. I really think that movie's not going to be good. Like that might actually be his worst movie yet. Because it's like, okay, they're on this planet. There's not. I mean, the movie's expensive, but it's not that expensive. And I mean, so far they haven't released a trailer. I know it comes out in December, but it's June. Like, could you
have to soon, right?
Like, couldn't you? Like, why didn't you? If you want to hype it up, I don't see no Snyder fans really hyping that movie up.
Well, let's also be honest here. Netflix, like, I don't trust Netflix either. So it's like you got Zack Snyder, you got Netflix. While I want to be excited for this movie because I like good sci-fi, I'm not confident in this project. I want to be, but I can't be.
I'm not confident either. I think I think Zack Snyder's best movie. Some of you might say Dawn of the Dead, which is good. I think it's 300.
No, that's definitely one of his better movies. I'll agree with you there. I remember we watched 300 for like social studies in like 10th grade.
You had to sign a paper because it's like there's it's.
No, we didn't even sign a paper for that film. We just like saw it. Listen. All I can say is
were you learning ancient Greek mythology back then or something?
I can't remember, but all I can say is I really hope that some of these kids at my school wise up and realize Batman versus Superman is not a good movie.
No,
because some of them say that's their favorite superhero movie.
They probably saw it when they were like super young.
I mean, these are like 6 and 7-year-olds.
They're 6 and 7-year-olds, really? Okay, so they weren't even born when the movie came out.
Oh my goodness, they didn't even know the discord of what's going on. But I can see these kids as they get older getting easily swayed by Syl and Mikey.
You know what? You know what's the worst part is? These Snyder hardcores, like they went dark. They went dark in their stuff, right? The Batman was more dark than BVS, okay? But you know what made Batman great? The story, cinematography, and you know what? It relied on Matt Reeves.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Listen, that was a longer film than what we got in theaters with BVS, and yet I was still more intrigued by that film, even though it was almost 3 hours long, because it actually had a good story. Listen, Matt Reeves will direct circles around Zack Snyder, not just with the Batman. Have you seen his 2 Planet of the Apes films? Those are some really good movies right there. He will direct circles around Zack Snyder. He made a character in that character Caesar. I liked him more than any of Zack Snyder's DC characters.
And Zack Snyder's interviews are so weird. Like what the heck? Like, what is he thinking? What is his mind like? Like, you ever hear him talk in interviews?
Also, just to point this out about the Planet of the Apes films, those were grounded Planet of the Apes films, and yet they were still a million times better than Zack's grounded DC attempt. I hate these people. It's not. It has to be dark. Dark and light doesn't determine how good a movie is. You tell good stories. You have good characters.
Yeah. Now, for certain movies, maybe a little bit. I mean, like, for a character like Spawn, maybe it needs to be dark. It can't be light.
Right. Well, what other news was there?
I don't know. They're making a bad movie.
Or what else was delayed? I should say.
Avatar. Yeah, Star Wars. I heard John Campia. I didn't watch, but it's like, we have no idea what the Star Wars movie's about. They ask you do. They give you a premise what they're about.
I mean,
those 3 movies, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know John Campia is a boomer, so.
Oh, I think he hates
my time to shine is saying Deadpool makes $1 billion. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion.
Listen, you know how long it took for an R-rated film to make $1 billion worldwide? It wasn't until Joker.
Yeah,
and
Logan
honestly, like that was a fluke, I think, as well.
Joker, you know why Joker made $1 billion?
Is what I'm going to say.
You know why Joker made $1 billion? It's not because of Joker. No, not the I don't think it's a controversy. Actually, I think it's because of the Batman brand. If Joker wasn't a Batman character, I don't think that movie would make $1 billion.
Yeah, I don't think that. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just no way.
A Two-Face movie would probably do well. I don't know about $1 billion because Joker is more popular, and I mean Joker is like a beloved villain, like all-time villain, and not just entertainment history, but pop culture. Like you got Darth Vader, you got Variety. You got Sherlock Holmes' villain. You got like Darth Vader. Like he's one of those he's kind of one of those villains that is beloved throughout the years and years and years. That's what I'm talking about. Like, right? Like Two-Face would probably do well, but probably not well as a Joker. Like Two-Face by his movie would probably do well because of the Batman brand, but not as well as Joker. Joker is like upper tier villain throughout history. Right. Same with Luther. I can tell you one thing: no Marvel villain is like that.
No, yeah. There's never going to be a Marvel villain that's going to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no iconic Marvel villains. That's on that level.
Well, the one thing I guess we kind of did briefly talk about is the Flash box office is projecting 70 million domestically.
Yeah.
And 155 to 165 worldwide, which is pretty. I don't know. It's not good in my opinion. It's not dire, but it's also not great.
If anybody expected this movie to make $1 billion, well, they have visual thinking. Like,
yeah, no, I don't think anybody. Well,
it's not going to make as much Guardians.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make as much. I think maybe this movie might make 600. One superhero movie this year has got to make 600 million. I'm telling you, because I just really. Oh well, Ant-Man didn't even. Guardians. I was going to say Guardians made now 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a movie. Spider-Verse, I think, is going to come close to 5. I think that has I think it's going to go over 6, or it might be close to 7. We'll see. To be honest, I think more people are more interested in that movie than The Flash.
And I think Elemental as well. They're more into Spider-Verse than Elemental if you're going to take your kid to a movie.
Oh, yeah, and Elemental is going to get cooked. Yeah, that's getting cooked.
That's such a stupid concept. I don't care about industrial elements. Movie a bunch of different elements. Who cares? What's this? Like Disney sometimes come up with these movies like that people don't care about.
Well, here's the thing. Most of the time, Pixar can take these concepts and do well, but I haven't had that much trust in Pixar with its last few films. If this was like Pixar and like the like over a decade ago, maybe I would trust them more. But I don't know. It's not that their films are bad. It just
didn't look interesting. I mean, I'm probably like the only person who liked Lightyear.
Oh no! I mean, I did like Lightyear. It's just like the thing is, it's also just like a good animated film. It didn't even feel like a Pixar film. It was like
I think they're kind of hit and miss. They're kind of hit and miss at Pixar because it's like some of them like Luca. I didn't see that. Right.
Yeah.
I started watching Onward. I didn't really care to finish it. So it's like some of them they're interesting because I really like Soul.
I like Soul a lot. I personally like Onward just because I kind of relate to that story. Right. And ironically, that was like the last movie I saw in theaters before shutdown.
What's the last movie I saw in theaters before shutdown? I don't remember.
I was gonna try to see The Way Back in theater when when I was furloughed for work and theaters were still open, but I was like, do I want to risk it? So I was like, nah, I'll wait to see it.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go. The restroom.
Oh, okay.
Talk.
The first film I saw when theaters reopened in New York was I think Raya and the Last Dragon.
Right. I haven't seen any of the Walt Disney animation movies. I don't remember the last one I saw.
Raya
I don't think it was
pretty good.
I want to say it's Zootopia, but I don't think so. I think I've seen something after Zootopia. That's what I'm saying. Like Disney overall, I just think has like a massive problem, like a severe problem.
Here's one thing that they had a great decade, but then when late 2010s and now the 2020s, we're starting to see the struggle when they're not putting together solid stuff.
Right.
Because they had some really good animated stuff in the 2010s. Tangled,
right.
Wreck-It Ralph, Zootopia.
I love Wreck-It Ralph.
They had some really good animated movies. And I know they had a lot of Pixar sequels, but some of their original Pixar stuff, like Inside Out, was really good. And then I don't know. I guess once you stop coming up with original IPs, you start making mid-level sequels. I'm gonna be honest. I love Wreck-It Ralph. I do not like Ralph Breaks the Internet. I just don't care about that movie.
Sucked.
Right. I haven't even seen this.
It was. Listen. To me, that would that's just a better version of Space Jam: A New Legacy, and that's not even saying much. Like throwing out all these IPs and oh my goodness,
right?
You might as well call it Ralph promoting Disney.
Oh man, it was a big old advertisement.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. I didn't even see it in theater.
Disney Space Jam.
Disney Space Jam.
That's what that was. Yeah. You know Space Jam: A New Legacy? That movie was just a glorified commercial.
Disney has that movie on Disney Plus, White Man Can't Jump, the remake, whatever.
Yeah, what was why even? Good Lord.
How are you able to get away with that?
Why remake that? Well, that was the original title of the movie.
I know, but
it's kind of a joke title, right? Well, I think most people know the original, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
but you couldn't do that now, right?
I'm sure people in a certain political group, probably have an issue with that title now.
Right? Yeah. They keep Twitter is just leaking. Well, yeah, it is accessible, definitely. But they're just posting clips from The Flash, and I have to say, CGI looks really bad.
Yeah,
CGI looks terrible.
Yeah, that even people who love the film said the CGI was not that good, which is crazy because they had so much time to polish the CGI.
That's the reason it delayed it, is to fix the CGI.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think after what happened with Ezra, they spend that money on PR. Or other stuff. They had no idea what they were going to do with the film, I think.
Right.
So when Ezra got into trouble, that they honestly had no. I think that pushed that caused some problems for them.
Ezra's so weird. He's so weird. He seems so.
But what I don't understand is why did they? Listen, I get it. Some people are saying the movie's good. But I just can't believe that it's that good to the point where they're saying it's such a great movie. It's this and that. It's still hard for me to believe, because when has a studio ever marketed a movie like that? No shit, your movie's gonna be good, right? Why else would we see it, right? So it's why would you market this movie it's such a great movie and this is what we needed? We need. They had to get Tom Cruise saying it's so fantastic. All these celebrities saying it's fantastic. It's well, They were paid to watch it.
You also got to vet your Twitter account, vet these Twitter accounts better, so
Yeah.
you don't highlight liars. I'm
Tom
sorry.
Tom Cruise sees like every movie. That's what he says.
Listen, Tom Cruise is an advocate for any film that comes out in the theaters. He's an advocate for people returning to the theaters. Of course, he's going to say positive stuff about your film.
Hey, every actor,
if he did love the film, then that's great for him because there are going to be people who love this film, and that's fine. I haven't even seen it yet. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it yet. I could love it. I could dislike it. So I don't really know how. But the thing is, you don't need to keep hammering it. Let the audience see for themselves what they think.
Right. Well, they should have. I don't know how they get, and this is the result, right? Like people, I remember before, because right now Reddit's having a blackout, but I was on the box office subreddit, and people are like, oh, how come this movie's not performing or going tracking very well, right? When it has Michael Keaton. And some people were pointing out, it's like, no, if this movie makes 70 million, then that's domestically, then that's because of Michael Keaton, right? So imagine how much it would have made if there was no Michael Keaton. And I'm like, that movie would have flopped then, essentially. That movie would have been making the same money at probably less than Black Adam.
Do you think that money, do you think it would make more if it was Christian Bale's Batman instead?
I think so. Yeah. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. He's more recognizable as Batman. I think Michael Keaton. I think it's a little too late. A lot of people didn't grow up with
Keaton. Well, here's the thing. He's popular with younger audiences. People around my age, younger.
Affleck.
I think they should have gotten both. They should have gotten Michael Keaton and Bale.
The thing is, here's the thing. Christian Bale has made it very clear. If Nolan's involved, he will. That's the only way he would return. So I wonder if they did try getting Bale, but Bale was like, "Nah, I'm good."
They really should have pressed for it, to be honest. I think that would have made the movie instead of, to be honest. And then Supergirl, okay, to be honest. And the thing is, if this movie isn't really good, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think I will trust James Gunn when he praise a movie, right? I don't think I could trust him praising stuff.
People have to hit the brakes on James Gunn as new DC, okay? Like not everything is gonna be good. It's not.
Well, I don't know about his new DC, right? We still have to see about that, right? But him coming out and saying, "Oh, this was the greatest movie," and that was essentially first off, he has to realize, right? He's the head of a studio. I'm not, just because you've made good movies, I'm not going to believe everything you say, right? It's like Bob Iger coming out and saying Ant-Man 3 is one of the best Marvel movies. Well, no shit, you're going to say that, right? You have to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like he kind of, and I kept saying this, I don't think him being on Twitter and talking was a good idea because first off, one, you're going to now make fans think that you're essentially, those types of corporate people who speak out their ass, or they talk out one side out of their mouth, and they got two different mouths, right? They're two-faced, whatever the saying is. So I don't think that was a good idea for him to say anything about these movies. I don't think it was a good idea for him to even come out and say, here's the slate coming after all these movies, and how these movies, Aquaman, The Flash, and all of them, they're irrelevant. Why do that? None of that made sense. But that was for what, the fans? Who cares about the fans, man? Let them wait for the movie. If the movie's good, then let them praise it, right? I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, he's too much on Twitter. James Gunn.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, look, I love James Gunn, but listen, not everything James Gunn does is perfect. And look, James Gunn's projects, the ones that he will probably be in charge of, they can be easily good. That doesn't mean the rest of the DCU could be as good. Superman Legacy can be a fantastic movie under him. That doesn't mean, though,
everything will be
Supergirl.
good.
That doesn't mean Supergirl will be an automatic win because first of all, we don't know how involved he's going to be in that film.
Right.
And here's the thing, like Swamp Thing, I get it. James Mangold's directing it. I would pump the brakes a little bit on Swamp Thing because look, James Mangold may have made a fantastic movie in Logan and 4B Ferrari, but Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is not getting a good response right now. So that doesn't mean everything that James Mangold touches is good. Now we haven't seen Indiana Jones yet.
Name me one director.
We haven't made our own opinion about it.
Can we really say Indiana Jones is James Mangold's fault? I have yet to see the movie, obviously, but I'm not going to be so quick to jump on him. If anything, I think that's all Lucasfilm's fault if the movie's bad, not him. I mean, he stepped in. He's basically a director for hire. And
that's a good point,
right? I don't. Unless he makes another bad movie, right? If Swamp Thing is bad, then I agree, right? Then I
honestly think. I wonder how much Harrison Ford had to say about the fifth movie.
Well, I wonder. First off, I want to know whose project was this? Was this Bob Iger forcing Lucasfilm? Was this Kathleen Kennedy? Was this George Lucas saying, "Hey, maybe you should make this"? Who was the one that greenlit this movie? Right.
I'm gonna say it right here, right now, and I don't want to. This could be. I don't want to sound like a fandom minister, but if this movie just doesn't turn out all that good, it doesn't do well at the box office. Fans don't like it. I'm sorry. I think Kathleen Kennedy's got to go because this is something she's had more involvement in than Star Wars. She was known for being a key producer in all Spielberg's Indiana Jones films. And if you can't even get that right, then I'm sorry. You should be out at this point. I don't care what your resume may is. If you can't even get this right, sayonara. Good luck somewhere else.
Can I ask you something? Is she the ones that make is Lucasfilm the one that makes deals with the video game companies?
Well, yeah,
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure they are. I think they have. It has to be, right, because they don't have a separate division. It's not like Marvel. So I'm guessing a lot of these, because they said, I'm not sure if you heard this. This was a rumor that I kind of believe in, and it seems like it's coming true, that they want to put out a Star Wars game every 6 months. So you're going to get 2 big Star Wars games in every 2 of them every year. Like what are you like, seriously? Do you want people to hate these franchises? Why are you making so much of this thing?
Outlaw came out of nowhere.
The thing is, it's like
that was announced years ago at that point, right? I don't know when it was. It was at least 2 years ago they announced Massive Games was working on it, right? And everybody thought, oh, that's going to be like Star Wars Division, right? Because Massive Games made Division, right?
Listen, they're gonna overdo this Star Wars. They're gonna where people are gonna get sick of it.
They're gonna milk so much of Star Wars.
They're gonna milk it at this point.
Like what are they gonna do? They're gonna milk it until like what? These movies can't even make over 500 million. Like what are they doing? Like I don't understand.
You've already put people in a tight spot with the films because there are a lot of people who are not looking forward to a film where Rey is creating a new Jedi Order to begin with.
Well, I don't even see how. I mean, could it make $1 billion? I guess. I mean, all the other ones made $1 billion, but like,
listen,
they've all had diminishing returns.
Rise of Skywalker was the most disappointing $1 billion film ever. I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about how much money it made. Like that was the most disappointing $1 billion ever made. Have you ever? I didn't even know that was a phrase. But the fact is that Joker made more money than Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
That's crazy. An R-rated film that just came out that basically came out of nowhere. Like did better than a film that should have probably given Endgame competition at the box office.
That's just to say, yeah. It should be at least almost as much as Endgame, or at least in the realm.
It should have made. If this was supposed to be the ending of everything, right? Which is already a weird phrasing, right? They didn't really set that up in the other movies.
Oh, clearly it's not anymore.
Well, yeah, that's also a good point too, right? If they're continuing that, I don't know. And on top of that too, this is another thing too that I've also noticed. Are are kids really into Star Wars? I feel like Star Wars is not really like I haven't seen like kids walking around like with backpacks. Like kids still care about Spider-Man. I do see that. I don't know, George. Do
I
you see kids like
comics.
in
I
in your
do.
like do they care about Star Wars? Like or do
Listen.
they care about Marvel?
Comics.
Listen.
Comics.
The most that I see kids when it comes to Star Wars is Baby Yoda.
Oh,
Right.
you'll
Which
obviously.
makes sense,
That's
right?
that's the most that like they'll talk about. Listen, like they'll talk more. Listen, like they're more into Spider-Man. A lot of these kids in school than they are anything else. If they are interested in anything Marvel.
Yeah,
Right.
Spider-Man. I see kids. I seen kids, and they still wear comic books stuff over Star Wars.
Right.
Else,
But here's the interesting thing. A lot more of them seem more interested in Miles Morales than Peter Parker.
the
Right. That's
Spider-Verse.
also
Yeah,
something I've noticed too.
that's not good. That's not
So
good.
Well, also too, I know people always go, "Oh, it's woke" and stuff like that, but the Star Wars movies that we've gotten, right?
Well,
They're not super diverse. Like
no.
if we're gonna, because they always bring that up. Oh, diversity. Star Wars. First off, the Star Wars movies that we got, there was not even a black lead. Star Wars has never had a black lead, right? They had female leads who were white.
Yeah.
And I only bring this up because they like to always bring this up. They always like to bring up the diversity stuff, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, right? But it's also something that I've noticed. I was like thinking, I'm like, Star Wars has never had a black lead, right? And it seems like when you look at the numbers too, there's not like the black community does not really care so much about Star Wars. Like like most people, the
They
only black character, if you just randomly ask someone, name a black character from Star Wars, most people are gonna still name Lando. Isn't that a
Lando.
problem?
Lando. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Besides Finn,
From
I'm
30
also
years
kind of
ago.
struggling
30
too. So I'm like, who? I'm like, okay, yeah, you have that Forrest Whitaker, right?
But like,
Who? I don't know what they're doing at Star Wars. For real, I don't know what they're doing. I'm still like I really don't understand Star Wars fans. I don't think I'm a Star Wars fan. That's what I'm trying to say today. I don't think I'm a Star Wars fan. I don't really connect with the community. I don't really understand what's going on. Every time
yeah,
I read
Trekkie.
and see about people, yeah, it seems like it because it's like I'm like totally disconnected. I'm like, is the Dave Filoni stuff like people really like that? And I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't understand why. Um, and I just can't. I'll be shocked if his movie does really well because I'm like, then I really truly do not get any of this stuff. To me, it's a lot. It's like very fan servicey. It's not super interesting. The only stuff that was interesting from Star Wars that I liked story wise, right, was Andor. Everything else seemed like pretty standard Star Wars, like very generic. Like that's the
Yeah.
territory we're in right now. It's just like the game that looked generic. Like okay, this girl who's this girl? She looks like female Han Solo to me. Like she doesn't
Yeah,
look
that's what I
like
was
a unique
thinking.
character. Yeah, like
Female
she
Han
kind of
Solo.
reminds me of like Rey in the sense where it's like she just looks generic. Like there's nothing like defining about her. There's anything interesting visually, right? It's just generic. And then she has this little pet monster thing, and you're like, okay, you're putting this in because of Star Wars, and Star Wars needs to have some cute little animal robot thing, and it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Like is this where the franchise is where it's like they can't do something unique? It's all just the same. We got to have a character have this little monster thing, little robot. Like, come on, can we get away from that? Can you do something different? Could it be a reverse? Could it be a kid with a monster? Like could it?
Yeah.
Something at least, man. Like the premise of these games and movies is all just blending together. Like you have Mando, he has Baby Yoda. You have Kyle, or what's his name? Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? It's such a simple name. From the games, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Order.
What's his
name? I think it's just Cal,
yeah.
Kestis. Right,
yeah.
He's got his little robot. Ray had BB-8, right? Luke Skywalker had R2D2 and C3PO. This girl now has a robot thing. So you have all these characters that are just like kind of like the same, right? Like Andor even has his robot, right?
You need a little pet with you, okay?
Yeah, you need some little thing that looks cute so you can sell toys.
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
And by the way, the toys aren't even all that good.
No.
I look at these toys, I'm like, good Lord, like the toys that they were selling 20 years ago when I was a kid were way better than the toys they sell now.
I'm telling you,
I'm sorry. Look, I'm going to make a comparison. I know this is completely separate. Transformer figures were a whole lot better 20 years ago than they are today.
Hasbro has terrible designs for toys. Look, anything that they have. And Marvel Hasbro toys do not look good either. Star Wars do not look like Hasbro is really lacking with the toys.
Well, also okay, I know this is on those Phantom Menace channels that I've seen, right? Mm-hmm. But this is kind of true. I don't go to toy stores. I don't even go to the toy section in Walmart. But the occasion that I so happen to walk through out of curiosity,
Toys R Us, I see it.
Yeah. The Star Wars toys are packed. It seems like no one's buying Star Wars toy. That's why I always ask, like, do kids like Star Wars?
Marvel's pretty packed.
Yeah, even when I go to,
I mean, like in the sense where no one's buying it.
Mm-hmm. No one's really even buying Star Wars stuff. Even at the comic book store, like I look at the figures. I'm like, these aren't that impressive. Like I'd rather buy a DC McFarlane figure if I'm gonna buy a collector figure than a Star Wars figure. And the thing is that some of these Star Wars figures, even if they look cool, they really ain't worth the money. Unless you have the extra money, then yeah, sure, go for it if you really want it.
Right.
It's just like, for goodness sakes, a DC McFarlane figure that they put more detail into is cheaper than the Star Wars figure.
Yeah, they are a lot more detailed. The McFarlane toys are a lot more detailed.
No, it's the same thing with the Marvel toys. Like a DC figure will be more detailed. They'll put more effort into it, and it'll be cheaper than a Marvel figure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Disney's like, I don't know how much input Disney has into these toys, but it's like the toys are pretty cheap. They're cheap looking, and yet they cost a lot of money.
That's true. I've seen the comparison like up close. It's not good. And yeah, I go to Toys R Us and I see the action figures. McFarlane toys are way better. Star Wars, yeah, they don't get sold that much.
Yeah, I'm really curious about like okay, the movie technically, yes. I mean, besides Solo, right? They've all made $1 billion. You have the Star Wars TV shows, but they just came out and they said that Andor, and I like Andor, but that show cost $250 million. Like that was pretty shocking to me.
It's a movie.
It was like wow. It was like, but then it wasn't even that popular, right? So it's like you spent like, I mean, that's really expensive for a movie, right? So it's like. I mean, like I really don't understand some of these decisions that they're making. It seems really baffling. And then you have people on the internet, and we all are technically an echo chamber because we're not really talking to people outside of this stuff and hearing their opinions. But like, they're kind of just people are just kind of like, yeah, this is okay, this is acceptable, and it's like, is this really acceptable? Like, what part of this is acceptable, right? Like, just because you like it, do we even know if other people are okay with this stuff?
Like, you have people that are just casual moviegoers. They're like, oh, yeah, that's enjoyable. Can't wait for the next one to come out. they really don't take the time to actually like think why certain people love something or dislike something.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Why do you think like Transformer movies were allowed to make money all these years until people finally had enough of it with Transformers last night? Because people were like, "Oh, that was entertaining, popcorn fun." That was,
Yeah.
but like that's basically what it was. Is like people didn't really care so much the quality of the product as long as they were entertained.
Right.
As long as like they were given an opportunity to just like turn their minds off for a certain amount of time. But that doesn't work for every project.
Nobody was entertained with that movie.
Transformers last night. Oh my goodness, that was the first time I truly did not like a Transformer movie leaving the theater. Like I'll be honest, I had no problem with the other films the first time I watched them. It's like over time when you start like actually paying more attention to how these films are made. But it's like, listen,
Yeah.
I was doing a stream last night with Blue Jay and DL talking about Transformers Rise of the Beast, and we were talking about Transformers last night. That was the first time, like, listen, the reviews for Transformers last night, that was the first time I ever heard critics criticize the aspect ratio. I've never heard a critic talk about the aspect ratio of a film until Transformers the last night, because Michael Bay couldn't even get that right.
Michael Bay just didn't care. He's like
that aspect ratio, that was an epic fail.
But like that was the first time I heard any critic like bring that up. I was like, oh wow, like I didn't even know that was a thing people criticize until like the last night came out and people were like, oh, the aspect ratio for that was bad.
He didn't care. Michael Bay didn't care for Transformers.
No, all he cared about was sexualizing young women. I'm sorry, he like that was just like and making bad jokes.
He doesn't love his movies. He doesn't even the bad boy movies sexualizes a woman.
Yo, the thing is, it's like if he had made more movies like The Rock, which was actually a very good action film,
yeah,
he would be one. He would be one of the better action directors. But for some reason, he just doesn't do those kind of movies anymore. I mean, I haven't seen 13 Hours. I heard that was a good movie of his.
Yeah, that was pretty decent.
Maybe I should watch it because, like, apparently that's critical to our political climate in some weird way. I know why, because people were politicizing it during the 2016 election. because Hillary Clinton was running for president. And it was like, well, 13 Hours, see? That's proof she screwed up Benghazi. And I don't even like it, but still. That they politicized the hell out of that. I just wonder what movie's going to get politicized for 2024.
Fuck. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Listen.
Captain America.
Oh no! Brave New Order.
I think Captain America is going to be the target.
Oh.
Listen, you guys are so lucky that you don't have to put up with like this nonsense that us Americans put up with on both sides.
Then if the state of Republicans have ever used Captain America, they lost the purpose of what Captain America means.
But listen, here's the thing.
I think that movie is gonna touch upon things that might be polarizing.
Oh, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
Listen. This is all I can say. Captain America would not support these guys in real life. I'm just saying that right now.
So they're willing to change.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised by. I wouldn't be surprised if they make Thunderbolt Ross like a Trump-like character.
Oh
good lord! Oh
just
my!
to stick it at DeSantis. Here's the thing.
It's just something about that, because isn't he the rumor that he's president?
Yeah.
No,
I could totally see that happening.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? So they changed the title to Brave New Order because New World Order, obviously, right? So why did he use Illuminati?
Well, that was dumb too. That was dumb. They changed it because they were like, oh yeah, it's like, people use it, and sometimes it's synonymous with anti-Semitism. Okay, that's fine, right? But then they like is the meaning also a reference to the book A Brave New World? Because I mean, that's also political, right? So it's like, I'm guessing that's what they're going for, right? Because I'm like, I can't understand. There's no way that that title is not unironic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody knows the book A Brave New World. It's a dystopian, it's a satire, right? It touches on political stuff. So I really don't know what they're thinking with that movie. I don't even think
Captain
it's going to
America
be
for you,
good.
right? Captain America is political, basically political. Everything Captain
Right.
America is going to be political.
But
right?
this is a political that I
Yeah.
don't think the MCU has really touched upon. So I mean, I think Black Panther may have touched on it lightly, but this is very different, right?
Brave
So
New Order, because they want to change New World Order. Like what?
right.
What's the synopsis here? There's going to be like, what's going to happen here? Is Hydra coming back? What's happening? Is Hydra going to be responsible?
I don't think it's going to be Hydra. I think this is going to be the leader, Red Hulk. I think
the serpents. Probably, what's it called? The serpent. Oh, the team full of serpent villains. What's it called? The serpent villains. What are they called again? I forget.
Serpent Society?
The Serpent Society are in it, yes.
Right. Yeah, like I think this is going to be like some conspiracy theory where they're either trying to, there has to be something with Wakanda is my guess.
So what you think Thunderbolt Ross would be like? He won't be a villain. He'd probably be like, think of himself as a hero, but probably be like more of an anti kind of hero, selfish kind of hero, anti-hero, where he probably has obviously different philosophies than Sam Wilson, right? Stuff like that, right? Like, because that's Thunderbolt Ross, if you really think about it. Because they really haven't used Thunderbolt Ross all that much in the MCU, but it's been a few movies, right? He's the one who introduced the Soviet Accords, and he's basically it. I mean, he was in Black Widow. They haven't really used them all that much, and they are going to use them now, right? So make him a focus point with Harrison Ford, obviously. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be Harrison Ford. It was supposed to be William Hurt, but yeah, he passed away. So I wonder how they're going to use Thunderbolt Ross. Let's see, get him. His daughter's in it.
Yeah, she's going to be in it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hulk is in it.
I was going to say that this has to lead to a Hulk confrontation, either in this movie or in that movie, or like down the line.
Well, there's some scooper who knows if this is true. They're saying that that the next movie they because they're going to do a Captain America 5 and it might actually be called World War Hulk.
Then that's not a Captain America movie.
That. Well, yeah. I mean, this is Marvel at this rate, right?
No, if you want to do a World War Hulk, don't make it a Captain America movie. Make it a Hulk movie.
Right.
That's disrespecting Captain America. Because no. Make it a Hulk movie. Make it a Hulk movie, not a Captain America 5 movie. Okay? Make it a Hulk movie. Oh, yeah, I agree with you, Degrassi. We all agree.
I can't even see because my phone is charging.
Oh, I said these new dates won't hold. There's just no way. I agree, Degrassi.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Yeah, we just it doesn't really make sense. Especially that Star Wars dates; those don't make any sense. And Thunderbolts, that's gonna move. That is gonna move to Blade's date. That's my guess.
And they'll just like, come on, hurry up!
Because we knew that there was no. Okay, Blade got pushed into 2025, but the only movies before that we knew, right, was Fantastic Four and Kang Dynasty. We didn't know what that other movie was, right? The third movie, which most of us assume was Shang-Chi 2. So at this rate, when is Shang-Chi 2 going to happen?
They didn't officially announce Armor Wars.
Yeah, that's another one too that they didn't date was Armor Wars, which was weird.
Because that's been turned into a movie. It's supposed to be a show, but that's been turned into a movie, right?
So that's going to be far away. In other words, that might be 2026. Because I think you know what they're going to do. This is what's going to happen. They're going to push Blade back, right? Because I really think this movie is going to have more problems. They're going to stick Thunderbolts in February. That kind of makes sense, right? That movie looks like an Ant-Man 3. You might as well drop it in February, right? Then Kang Dynasty may stay or it may go, right? And then maybe they'll be like, you know what? Maybe we need some time in between the Avengers movies. And then they'll make a Shang-Chi 2 as like a consolation prize for the director who's making Kang Dynasty, right? Like, go make this movie first, then you can make the Avengers movie, right? Because he made it's kind of crazy. He only made one Marvel movie, and they're giving him the keys to Avengers.
Kang Dynasty is having trouble right now because they just lost their writer, and they can't hire a writer right now because they're on strike.
Right, and that movie comes out before Secret Wars. Why don't they just scrap Kang Dynasty and just make Secret Wars Part 1 and 2?
That's
what they should do.
That's there's rumors about making Secret Wars a double feature, but because
I keep hearing that, and there's like a rumor that I don't know if I completely believe, but that they want to make a Phase 7 in between those two secret. I don't know. That sounds like way too much, to be honest.
The thing about rumors in general, 95% of rumors are false.
It sounds so outlandish though, like. It does sound like a fan creation, but I'm like...
Rumors are mostly false, though, right?
Yeah, most of the time it is BS, but, like, you never really know, right?
Yeah.
Like, if there's smoke, there's fire. Like, if there's a consistent rumor, then I kind of believe it, right? Because it's like, okay, these other people who are credible, they are saying it. It keeps consistently popping up. Then that, to me, says that there's some validity to it.
And it's not the movies to worry about, like the stuff behind the scenes with their shows, man. Did you read that article in Direct like a week ago about how the shows are being run and stuff?
Yeah, I did see that. I mean, we kind of knew that, right? We kind of have heard that before, that they had some issues, some severe issues, like with that the shows don't even have a showrunner, which is kind of shocking, but it's not surprising.
Well, because the showrunner's a writer.
Well, the showrunner is supposed to be the head writer, right? But apparently they just downgraded them to just being a lead writer.
Yeah, that's true.
And so they don't really have a lot to say on the production. They just, essentially approve all the scripts, right? So so who is actually running the show? Who knows? I guess the Kevin Feige, the producers, are running the show. I don't know, but that seems like a mess. It seems like an absolute mess, and it makes sense why why no one would want to work for Marvel. Why would a popular, well-known showrunner, work for Marvel? I don't see why they would.
Why be a part of this?
Like what benefit do you get from working on a Marvel TV show? I don't think you get very much. Yeah,
none.
Maybe a movie, but I don't think the show.
You think it's just Marvel? It might be. You think it's just Marvel? What about Disney? You think the Star Wars is like that?
Well, I mean, depends. I think The Mandalorian definitely does have some credit. I don't know if it'll have credit going forward, but still,
okay.
With the volume and the technology that they're using there, I think that's more about the technology than it is the show writing, because I don't know what they were thinking with season 3. We'll see what season 4 is like, but I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's bad. You got also like DC is also, DC has not running anything either, right? Because of the strike. I mean, James Gunn says he's close narrowing it down to potential casting. There's potential rumors of villains like out there. Film Junkie, like I saw in Film Junkie's video, that James Gunn teased possible villains for Superman, like Parasite or Silver Banshee. I think it's Parasite.
Right. I mean, who really? I really don't know who's going to be the villain.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, until like they show stuff about the movie, I'm not saying I'm not interested, because I did really like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I need like we said before, I need James Gunn to shut up and just work on his stuff.
Yeah, you can't write Superman like Guardians. Like,
well, I don't. Well, he already said he wasn't going to do that, right? I don't think he would even attempt to do that. I just think what we were saying before, he's talking way too much. He's become what most, I feel like, I don't like about some of these corporate people. Like, we talk about on the gaming side, Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer, and James Gunn may become a Jim Ryan or Phil Spencer if he's not careful, right? Someone who talks way too much and ends up contradicting themselves. Like, he needs to actually be careful, right? Yeah. He should be looking at what Phil Spencer does, because Phil Spencer is the king of this problem.
You also got to remember this. Peter Safran's his co-president. He like what he may say, Peter Safran may not agree with. So how do you know what's going to be official?
Well, I think he did say that he is, every time he does go on Twitter, Peter Safran does know what he's going to say, or like they've already talked about it before. But I just think James Gunn, like he needs permission. But like the whole, like him, okay, like his first mistake, and what I don't understand, I want to understand the logic of this. Why did you announce the slate? What did that do, right? Did it hype people up? Maybe, but I don't know anyone in my personal life who even knew about that announcement. They're like, oh, they're making a new Superman movie with James Gunn? Okay. Wow. Like that.
Who's James Gunn?
Well, yeah, who's James Gunn, right? So, and it's like, oh, the guy who made the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Then they go, the guy who made the Guardians of the Galaxy movie is going to make Superman?
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, the thing. The general public, I'll say this. In our community, we know who James Gunn is. Let's be honest. James Gunn, in the general public, when the general public knows about directors, James Gunn is not in that category.
No, James Gunn is not still. Well, I think he wants that. I don't know if he should aspire to that. He should just make a good movie.
But if you go to a general person who just watches movies for fun, but it's not really in our community, or it's like, right? He's like a general public person who just not really. They don't know who Spielberg is, right? They don't know who Spielberg is. They don't know who James Cameron is. They'll know guys like Martin Scorsese, but they won't know who James Gunn is, or, like, I'm sorry, but it's like there's certain directors the general public knows, and not a lot of them.
Listen, I have no problem with him announcing a slate. The problem is he should have waited to announce the slate. You should not have announced that slate when you still.
The only thing he should have announced was Superman. Talk about Superman, go in depth a little bit on it. That's the movie he should have talked about, right? Why are you announcing a Brave and the Bold? We don't even know the release date. We don't know it's just way too confusing. And then on top of that too, now we have the strike. So it's like, okay, there's clearly, those movies aren't written. So this all to me just seems like too much talk, and I'm a little bit worried that if it's too much talk, then that's going to be the same problem Phil Spencer has, because Phil Spencer overpromises and never delivers, right? If James Gunn becomes that, I will definitely be criticizing James Gunn. There's no doubt in my mind I'll be, because I always hate when these executives do that. Don't overpromise if you don't know what's going to happen, right?
Hey, does that Zack Snyder.
Well, I haven't really seen Zack Snyder do that much.
He did the Justice League movie. He did Army of the Dead.
Well, yeah, he just made a bad movie. Yeah. But I mean, I like Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer would be like, we got all these games coming out. Then you go, when's the game actually going to come out? I don't know when the game's going to come out. Then it turns out, the game's going to come out in the next 4 years. Then the game comes out and it's broken and buggy, and it's not even good. Well, not Cyberpunk, but like Halo Infinite, or back in the Xbox One, it was ReCore. Well, Cyberpunk isn't really an Xbox game. I know it was at the Xbox event when it first showed off, but that wasn't really one of his promises, right? Like his promises, like Fable, right? Fable, Perfect Dark, all those games, Hellblade, those games were announced. Hellblade was announced 4 years ago.
Where the hell's Perfect Dark?
I don't know. I think they're having some problem or something with that game. They're having every game at Xbox Studio, unless it's Obsidian, they're having some problem. Like the Xbox is an absolute mess. Look at what happened with Redfall.
It's amazing. They can make Forza every year.
Yeah, they can make Forza every year. They can beat the horse to death, or the horse is already dead. They're still beating it, and it's Halo, right? Yeah, they killed Halo. Their Gears doesn't come out consistently, but they're still trying to milk that. And now, right now, PlayStation is doing the exact same thing too. Yes, people may be buying PlayStation, but PlayStation right now is milking Spider-Man. You can't tell me otherwise that they're not milking Spider-Man, right? The only games that have come out on the PS5 that were, big games were Miles Morales and now Spider-Man 2, right? And God of War, we got God of War 2. They're remastering or remaking games that were on the PS4, right? We don't even know what PlayStation is releasing next year.
No.
Besides Death Stranding 2, which is a sequel. So
I never really got into that.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's not for everyone. It's definitely not. It's a very niche game. But I don't know what. All I know is if James Gunn, he should look at Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan and be like, "That's definitely not who I want to be."
Who cares what the shareholders? It's about us, the fans.
The thing is, it's if you're going to announce the shareholders, right? You don't make a conference, right, and announce it to a bunch of people. Why don't you keep it behind back doors? That's what they used to do. At least in the gaming industry, that's what they used to do, right? If they had something that they didn't want to announce, but they wanted to get, they wanted shareholders to know, or they wanted, to hire, because sometimes they do that, right? They would announce a game like that. That other Star Wars game, the Star Wars Eclipse. I'm not sure if you remember it. Yeah, Star Wars Eclipse is a game that is not coming out anytime soon. That game is like seven years away at this point, right? And the only reason why they announced it is because those developers, first off, one, they were supposed to be bought by Sony. They messed up because they had a massive scandal with I totally forget the guy's name. Heavy Rain, Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human. I hate those games. I can't stand those games. But the guy who made that, I want to say David Cage, I think his name is. He had a scandal because he was apparently, sexually assaulted some of his workers. Sony was supposed to buy his studio. Sony saw that, they pulled out, and now they don't have any funds. And so they had to announce that Star Wars game so they can actually hire people and get investments. And so then when everybody was like, oh, they're making a Star Wars game, which I think is going to be garbage because I don't like any of their games. They're so boring. All their games are so boring, incredibly boring. Heavy Rain. I tried to play Heavy Rain. I think it was last year. I was unbelievably bored. The story's garbage. The character's garbage. It's like a Telltale game, but it's really not. There's a limited amount of things that you're doing. And Detroit Become Human was like a worse version of Blade Runner. That's what that was. So, they try to get funding. So that's why they announce these games early. But you don't need to announce these things early. That's the thing. Just keep it behind closed door. If you want to drum a pipe or investment, I guess you can announce it early. But make that intentions clear. Like, don't string along people thinking, oh yeah, this Fable game that we're going to announce, this is coming out in the next 2 years, when it's in reality coming out in the next 6 years.
Yeah,
so like the gaming industry needs to stop doing that. It's annoying.
I hate
and then games are broken. Then they come out broken because they rushed it, because they announced it too early. That's what happened with Cyberpunk.
Or they want you to pay for a pack, or they release the game and then they patch it up like a month later.
Well, Cyberpunk is, and I like Cyberpunk, right, when it's all fixed and everything. But you know, the DLC and the interviews that have been going on, a lot of developers have been saying, "Oh, this was the game that they should have shipped." And when I just played that game, and I said, you know what, Cyberpunk in reality should have come out this year, 2023. So if you do the math, when it was first revealed, it was technically 2012 behind closed doors, right? Then they did an official reveal in 2013 where they showed the trailer with the girl and she's being shot, right? And that character, you can actually, there's a mission with that character in the game, right? But then it was re-revealed back in 2018. So in other words, 5 years is when Cyberpunk really should have come out. It should have taken them 5 years to make the game, which is what the time of development really is. You can't make it.
You know why they released it? They released it because, it was during the pandemic, people are staying, you might as well just release it.
Well, they announced the game. They announced the game's date in 2019 for April of 2020. No one knew that there's going to be a pandemic, right? Then January, there was a rumor going around, and I remember this, right, because people didn't believe it, right? They were saying that, Cyberpunk is actually a mess, and that CD Projekt Red doesn't know what to do with the game. And so people were like, oh, that's not true, right? And then the game got delayed from April to September, and then
they got delayed
people were like, oh, no. Then it got delayed again, and then, the game, this was the craziest part. The game was announced, it went gold. That means the game is finished when they say that, right?
Boom.
And the game, a day, I couldn't believe this, a day after it went gold, they said it was delaying to December. So that's how everybody knew that there was something wrong with the game, because you don't announce, the game is finished, and then, we're going to delay it 3 weeks after it's released.
Who says the game, when it's gold, it means the game is complete, but who's the one that makes that decision?
That's the company itself has to make that decision, right? They all have to come to an agreement. It's usually the higher ups. The developers don't really have a say in that, right? The common person who, the programmers, the animators. Yeah, essentially the CEO who made that call, he lied. He knew he lied too, right? The game was broken, right? And that's why they fed everybody the PC port, because the PC port, it was working, yes, but it wasn't the game that was promised, because they had to, in order to make that date, they had to cut every feature, right? All the features that people wanted.
Can you imagine if if that game came out in September and they said it was gold and came out in September? People would be really bored. People would probably be
bored. Oh yeah, it would be worse. Oh yeah, it would be 10 times worse if you think about it, right? Imagine if it released in April. Could you think about it? We're saying it now, 3 years late. 3 years later, it still blows my mind, right? That they really thought they could release that game in April 2020. What were they smoking? I want to know whose decision was that. It was almost, the irony of it, it was almost as if the damn corporals from the game made that decision. That's the irony of this whole Cyberpunk.
I think it's from the top.
Definitely. Like the whole game, you always hear Johnny Silverhand talking about corpos, screw a corpos, the corpos ruin everything. Well, the corpos ruined the damn game itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, that's the funny part of it. It's like, what the hell were they thinking?
It's just crazy. I haven't played this game, but is this true? Like, it's still broken?
Who said that? I can't read the comments, but no, the game is not. Currently, it's not broken, no.
Oh.
But the thing is, what we know about okay, so they announced the DLC, right? But the part that is is more interesting is the fact that the game is being entirely reworked. So a lot of the wanted system is being gutted and being replaced. The skill tree, which was a really bad skill tree, it's kind of redundant and pointless. That is being reworked. A lot of the mechanics of the game, right? The combat is being completely changed. So, in other words, the game is being so heavily retooled that the developers themselves, right? A lot of the developers have done interviews. They said that this is what the game should have originally been, right? So, if you've not played Cyberpunk, just wait until September and play the complete edition with the DLC. And I'm gonna even do a new playthrough when I have the time. I'm gonna be super busy in September.
Sure.
But I'm gonna replay it and see what it's like.
Are you playing Zelda right now?
No, I had to stop because I was at I'm only now at the Fire Temple, which is crazy.
Oh, I didn't even do one temple yet.
So yeah.
1 to 4 temples? I didn't even do that one yet.
Well, yeah, you are you still doing finding all the sky towers?
I found most of the sky towers. I just need 3 more.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, because if you're off finding other things, yeah, you're gonna be. There's a lot to do in this game. You get distracted very easily.
Yes, I'm doing finding shrines and some smaller missions, whatever along the way, stuff like that.
Right.
Then I'll do. I mean, I got to the Wind Temple, but I didn't start doing. I got to the Wind Temple, but I didn't start doing the Wind Temple. I'm able to teleport there. The one with the what do they call it? The Rito, the birds,
Yeah, the Rito village. Yeah, I always forget. Yeah.
I could do that because I got the teleportation, able to teleport into the. It's the giant. I guess it's the giant boat. I don't know.
Hold on, we got some news.
What?
Well, this is gaming news.
Gaming news.
Microsoft has been temporarily restrained from buying Activision. Judge rules.
The FTC so they overruled they overruled it.
Yeah, this is the FTC. So this is Americans. Yeah,
Sony's
just came out. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Sony's happy.
Temporary restraining order on the preliminary injunction, and you can see the entire. It's only 2 pages.
Wow. Yeah, there's a whole big mess with that. They were not happy, Sony and I guess Nintendo, but who plays Activision?
I don't think Nintendo even really cares, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, most. I mean, the only Activision games that have gone to Switch were Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, right? So Activision really has. Oh, and Overwatch. Overwatch did go to Switch. I can't stand Overwatch.
Yes, it is on Switch.
Yeah, I really can't stand Overwatch. It's just such an annoying game. Yeah, I'm surprised it's popular, but it is what it is.
Some open world games are too open. Yeah, that's Breath of the Wild. No, that's Tears of the Kingdom, man.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is such a massive. It's just way too big. I hope I could finish it by July. We're halfway through June.
I don't even think I'm a quarter done.
Because I want to play. This is the game I'm focusing on. I'm not playing any other game. I just want I want to get through it, but it's a lot. It's almost too much.
I don't know. I don't care, man. I haven't seen it.
What was that? I can't see the comments.
Why is everyone having such a hard time with the ending in the post credits of The Flash?
I haven't seen the
Oh my goodness. I still can't believe someone was so mad at The Flash they ruined the post credit scene.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
I'll judge for myself.
I haven't seen that. Unless it's the one I think you're talking about. I don't know if they changed it.
I'll judge it for myself.
Obviously. Right.
People are never gonna be happy.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
George, any games you're still playing Breath of the Wild?
For what?
You're still playing Breath of the Wild?
I've been kind of more focused on Recreate Time. I get easily distracted by other games, so I've been playing Recreate Time as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had that Joker meme. Everybody loses their minds. You love it, Degrassi. You love it.
Degrassi loves the chaos.
Yeah. Degrassi loves chaos.
Oh man. Jedi Survivor is still broken. Sorry, Degrassi. I'm only looking at the comments now.
Chaos.
Everybody's when I don't check the comments, that's when yeah. Oh, Finbar popped in. I sound far away because I'm on my wireless headphones. I didn't plug it in because my phone's charging. But I'm using StreamYard while it's charging. Dangerous game. StreamYard just kills my battery. It's insane.
Yes, on the phone. Yes, it does. It does. It's really bad.
They need to make an app. Make an app so it's more efficient because it's killing my it's killing it. This Microsoft deal, them blocking it, I'm not surprised.
Degrassi, they're not rational like you and us. That's why.
Degrassi, are you looking at the reactions on Twitter?
Because he's seen the movie. I think he's seen the movie he saw the movie 4 times.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, he told me. Yeah.
What did Degrassi think of the movie?
He said it was really good. Yeah.
I never heard Degrassi.
But Degrassi, I think Twitter's going to go after the movie. There's a lot of people I'm seeing now go after the movie. They're not Snyder fans. They're just, they like comic book movies. They like all movies, and for whatever reason, they're dragging this movie. It's weird. It's because that's why I'm still skeptical. I have to watch this for myself.
Hey, if they think what I think of this, I did make videos on this topic about a year ago. I think I showed Degrassi. And if I'm right on Thursday, Saturday we're gonna talk about it. I know George won't be around this weekend.
I'll try to show up. If I have like a dramatic opinion that I know people are, that's not going to be the consensus, then yes, I'll have to, show up so people can lambast me. Listen, I'll go in. If it's good, I'll say it's good. Yeah, I don't know who will bash me.
Marcus will.
Maybe Ark might bash me. Maybe seen some other people might come in and may bash
Arkham
me
doesn't
if
bash
I don't
people.
Like it.
He disagrees with people, but he doesn't bash them.
Well, he may bash me if I like adamantly don't like the movie, or if I say Tears of the Kingdom is one of the best games ever made. But that's a different story.
If Marcus might bash you.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna see it on Friday. I hope it's good.
It better be good.
It's
supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain.
I won't. Oh, it's raining like crazy, man.
I know.
Yeah, it's raining like crazy.
I mean, we had like. Is it raining where you are, George?
It's supposed to tomorrow.
Yeah, I think pretty much we're in the same area. Like New York is pretty much. I mean, we have the same kind of weather, right? Basically, in a way, if you think about it. It's been, let's be honest, we're in the Northeast. It's been hot or been like sunny a lot with a lot of rain. There's not a lot of rain. Now it's supposed to like rain like days and days. It's crazy.
Yeah, it rained yesterday. It didn't rain all day today, but it was getting dark and it started raining.
It just better not give me a headache Thursday to rain. I don't want to watch a movie with a headache. I admit this. Yeah. I went to see the first Black Panther movie. I loved it, but I had a killer headache that day. I fucking Watching a movie,
yeah.
with a killer headache, it's the worst.
It's the worst. It's the worst. The one that I hate the most though is when my knees start to hurt, man. For whatever reason, my knees have been. Oh my god, they hurt so much, man.
Yo, did you guys ever I don't know if any of you guys watched the Flick Pick. I remember he was telling the story about when he saw Transformers last night, and like 20 minutes into the film, he took a sip of his soda and like the lid wasn't closed, so like it spilled on his pants. And he was so discombobulated when he went to the bathroom. He accidentally went into the women's room. He was so discombobulated from how bad the film was and how sticky his pants were that he went to the women's room. So he's putting like his crotch close to the blow dryer. And like he turns and sees a woman staring at him.
Who did this?
John Flickinger, the Flick Pick. Yeah, that's what he said in his Transformers the Last Night review. He was discombobulated.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I don't want to say this. This may be this. No, I can't say this. This is a spoiler, but if that's true,
I know the spoilers.
No. This is a line of dialogue. Can I say it? Can I just say? I'm just curious what you think, because this.
George,
I feel like.
What about you?
It does. I do have to say that this involves a character that has not been mentioned, though.
Okay, George, if he's okay with it.
Wait, what? I wasn't even listening. I was turning something on.
It's not so much about it's just okay. So this person says that in the movie there is a scene where Ben Affleck's Batman holds the lasso of truth and says that being Batman doesn't work, and he should try putting his resources into ending poverty. I guess that is played as a joke.
That's not a good joke.
And maybe I'm taking that out of context. But
I remember.
I haven't obviously seen the scene, but that does sound. I don't know about that.
I remember when like the leaks came out last year. They said there was going to be a scene where he says some stuff about Batman holding the lasso of truth.
Oh, really?
Well, here's the thing. Like,
it's true, apparently.
Wait, so I guess that also
true.
means Wonder Woman was not cut from the film?
Wonder Woman, yes. Yeah,
because there were rumors that she was going to be cut from the film.
This is a person who saw the movie, and they're commenting, and they kind of, the pictures have been deleted, but yeah, I did see her in one of the pictures.
Cut.
That is a little bit of a weird joke, I will admit. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, here's the thing.
You should definitely do that if, this was the real world.
I need to see how the joke plays out.
Yeah, that has to be context.
That's what matters. You just can't say.
Degrassi says it was actually hilarious.
I mean,
it's like,
but the thing is,
I need to see how it's played out, because if it's played out in a certain way, it could be funny. Then there's a way it could be played out.
Well, I'm kind of wondering. I've seen people say that the Flash is really funny, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of humor is it. So that's why I read that, and I was like, well, it's kind of like, I'm totally forgetting. Like, it's kind of, I guess it's self-referential, or it's kind of like,
well, Barry's always been a character with a sense of humor, right? I think.
Yeah, I think
the CW Barry is sometimes too serious, like way too serious, but like. Barry's always been known to have a great sense of humor.
Right.
He's not awkward. Like Ezra Miller's Barry's sometimes awkward. Like that's my takeaway from him sometimes from seeing him. He's a little awkward. I mean, I think it's because it's Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller's awkward.
There's another line in the movie where he says that he's a virgin. Is that also true? I guess that wouldn't be such a stretch, but make a joke like that.
Who wouldn't have sex with a Flash when he super speeds the sex?
Yeah, because people are just like leaking. They're not just like leaking the cameos. They're like leaking like parts that they just didn't like.
Okay, I'll be done when I don't know how long. I actually don't know because I got a period to go with the hockey game, and it's actually pretty much over with. Like Las Vegas is going to win the Stanley Cup because they're killing Florida 5-1, so it's pretty much over.
This was. Oh, so the game is going on. It's almost done.
Yeah, they're going to the third period. They're in intermission right now. They're going to go to the third period. But yeah, it's Vegas is killing Florida, and if they win this game, they win the Stanley Cup, and that's going to happen because Florida ain't coming back from a 4-goal deficit.
Okay, I see Degrassi confirmed what I just said. Okay,
of course.
So yeah,
his first woman he's going to do it with is Iris.
So yeah, here's another person on Twitter. It's weird how like this stuff just. Someone says, so I saw The Flash for the most of its runtime. It's a weird but compelling joint. Definitely not the peak superhero movie Cruise and King, etc. claim, but a solid adventure only held back by some truly awful CGI. That was also another we were talking about too, Degrassi, was that some people were saying that CGI was actually not great.
You know what? I'll say this. Nobody's brought this up. I'm glad he's not blonde because I think Ezra Miller would look bad blonde.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that would have been awful. Yeah.
I don't care about his hair color. I just want a good performance. And then here's the thing: people actually say he does give a good performance, and that's why they didn't.
He's a good actor. It's just that he's weird himself.
Listen, he just does stupid stuff.
Yeah,
they do stupid stuff. I keep forgetting.
This guy is weird himself, man. Like, you know what? He could play the Joker in Matt. Like you could see him playing Joker in Matt Reeves' universe. Like that's what he could, because he's creepy himself.
Well, one of my coworkers is. I know he was joking. But he was like, "How can you give money to the Flash?" I was like, "One idiot versus all the other people that starred in this film and worked on this film."
That Maverick AV. Oh, Maverick.
Oh, Top Gun Maverick.
It's not going to do as well as Top Gun.
Yeah, it ain't going to do as well as Top Gun.
Not even close.
Like.
Tom Cruise is going to appear in a DCU.
I really think they should have never gone the route of marketing this movie with it's the greatest superhero movie ever and everybody's seeing it but you, and so you got to watch it. I don't think that was a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens though.
I'll say this. I don't think Jessica Chastain is going to join the DCU. I just know it. I know it. I have a feeling
she probably will.
So Grace Randolph will have a flip out. Because listen, she was starting to come around. She loved Guardians 3. She loves the Flash.
Does she really want to go back to X-Men?
Well.
Oh God.
That was.
Well, wait. She's already in it. Wait, what does that mean, Degrassi?
I'm just gonna say this. My time to shine. It's funny. My time to shine was trying to take credit for the Andy Muschietti scoop of Muschietti possibly directing Brave and the Bold. Other scoopers were saying that before she broke the news.
Yeah, she. Oh, by the way, how do you feel about that? If that is true,
I feel bad for Sarah Pauli. I feel bad for Bambi. Come on.
Taking that. Oh wow, she was supposed to take. She was gonna. Oh, she passed on Supergirl. Oh wow.
If Barbie's good, if Barbie's successful, Greta.
I could probably see why she would pick Bambi over Supergirl, but
not every.
I mean, she could do whatever she wants, right? She just she didn't win adapted screenplay. Was it? Did I see it right? Or am I?
Do you remember when I said Jessica Chastain like a couple months ago? Oh, they're looking at MCU's looking at Jessica Chastain. I'm like, no, I think she's always going to be DC. I think there's something there for DC with her. I always thought she would be DC. Like, seriously. I don't know. I know she was at the premiere last night for a Flash.
Oh, yeah, she did win. She did win Best Adapted Screenplay. Okay, I thought it just said nominated. Yeah.
Jessica Chastain was at the premiere with the Flash, but that's because she's I think she's Frances Muschiani because they did It together, right? It too.
Well, yeah, it was before that though.
Yeah, it's also So like,
I think wasn't she in his first movie, or am I?
I don't know. Yeah, so there's a connection there. So
Yeah.
Obviously, I think she's going to join DC. I don't know what she's going to join as. Like, she's older than. She's in her 40s. She's almost like around 50 actually. She's
no way. Jessica Chastain is no.
She's like mid 40s. Mama, she was in Mama. Yeah, she's in her mid 40s.
There we go. I haven't seen that movie though. Mama, but yeah. Yeah, she's 46. Yeah.
Okay, see, she's too. See, she would have been perfect Vicky Vale at one point, but she's too old for Vicky Vale.
I mean, listen, if they were still continuing with Batfleck, she would make more sense for Vicky Vale in that universe.
But I have a question for you. Do you want a 40-year-old Barbara Gordon?
No. Who even said that? Why? What? That doesn't even make any sense.
Whoa, what?
Poison Ivy? No, she's too old for Poison Ivy.
No, she's Poison Ivy possibly, but she's definitely too old for Batgirl. No, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I don't want
Listen, if we were still in the current DCEU and Ben Affleck was still Batman, yeah, Jessica Chastain would probably be good for Vicky Vale or Poison Ivy. But we're going with the younger actor. We're going in the younger direction.
Yeah, because this Batman's supposed to be in his 30s, right?
Yeah, because like they all stuck. Because again, you're going younger with Superman. You're going younger with Batman.
Well, you can't go too young with Batman, right? Once you say Damian Wayne, like he's gonna have at least, I feel like, 10 years experience. It was always weird, like, you know, in the New 52 when they said like he had like 5 years experience and yet he had all the Bat family. That just felt weird.
Yeah, it was. Right. It was like Tim Drake all of a sudden came with a 5-year span, same with Jason Todd.
Yeah, like all this stories, you know, all this lore happened within 5 years. I don't believe it.
Most of the stuff in New 52 made no sense at all. Let's be honest.
Yeah. also, how do you feel about if this is another, you know, rumor, right? That Deadpool 3 is essentially the No Way Home of the Fox X-Men movies.
What is that supposed to mean? They're gonna face all the villains from
all the X-Men characters are gonna come back from the Singer, you know, X-Men movies.
So is Wolverine gonna be like, fuck these Avengers?
Possibly. I mean, Holly Berry's rumored to come back. They're gonna get Cyclops. Obviously, Professor X is coming back. Magneto.
Hopefully, Jennifer Lawrence don't come back as Mysterio.
No, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence. But I can't remember
Singers, right?
Who played? From Singer. Everybody from Singer. Yes.
That's gonna be awkward.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, but there was a rumor that they're trying to bring back the original Fantastic Four.
Don't make Bruce Wayne 63 years in the DCU, man. I don't want a 60-year-old Batman. I'm sorry.
60. Yeah. Old, super old Batman.
Come on. Hell
no. I know Keaton looks good and stuff, but come on, if you want this, no.
Listen, you got a 10-year plan. In 10 years, he's going to be 80.
63.
He's trying to. I see what Degrassi's trying to say, right? If they're still our theory, right? Like that Dick Grayson is the DCU Batman, then that would make sense, right? He's a lot older. I just really can't see. I mean, if they do that, it's like
I don't.
He said Bruce Wayne. Yeah, he said. Yeah.
People will not accept Dick Grayson as Batman. General people will not accept that.
I mean, it's never been done in a movie, right? They haven't even done that in a TV show. So I feel like, yes, people would be resistant because it hasn't been done before. But I also think it would be interesting. It would definitely, in my opinion, make the DCU's Batman like more compelling because it's like, okay, we're doing something we've never done before. This is not the same stuff. Then I would be, because I already said I really have that much interest in Brave and the Bold. I mean, okay, like we already have a Batman movie going on. I don't see why we need another one. But if it's good, yeah, I don't mind. I'm not a big fan of when I heard Andy Muschietti was directing the Batman or the Brave and the Bold rumored to. That to me gave me a little concern. I mean, do we really want to trust the guy who made it Chapter 2? I don't know. I really don't know. The Flash may be good. He still needs to make some more movies, I feel like. He still needs to actually develop his skills a little bit.
You could make a decision.
He's only okay, but including the Flash, didn't he only make 4 movies?
I don't know. He made 2 It movies.
Is there a movie in between Mama and It, or is it just Mama and then It, and It Chapter 2 and the Flash? Because if that's the case, I feel like he needs a little bit more. You know, it's not like Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves, I think, has had a vision. You can kind of see his style, right? Because he didn't direct a lot of movies too, right?
He had 4 movies. Yeah, It, right. Mama, It, both It and the Flash.
Because Matt Reeves only had 4 movies. No, did Matt Reeves have 4 or 3? Yeah, no. Yeah, he did have 4 movies, right? He did Cloverfield. He did that one thriller movie. I'm totally blanking on the name. And then he did the 2 eight movies, and then he went into Batman. But like Andy Muschietti, I can never pronounce his last name. I think he needs to do something. He needs to do something else. Let him do something else. If that movie's good, then okay, go make the Batman movie, right? But as of right now, like going from Flash to Batman, like I feel like it's going to be like the Russo brothers. Like that's definitely making me feel like.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to be directing his third be working with a third Batman actor essentially, because you already worked with Ben Affleck, you worked with Michael Keaton, and now you're going to be casting a new Batman.
Well, what happens if he tries to make this new Batman similar to those ones?
But here's the thing. Here's a problem. I know.
Merge them together.
Here's my problem with anybody taking up the mantle of Batman. Batman is not a mantle. It's not a mantle.
Well, we said Spider-Man wasn't a mantle.
Spider-Man, but Spider-Man? Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, Spider-Man is. Well, I mean, there has been other Batmans in the comics, right?
I know, but I'll say why. Because Batman is Bruce Wayne. The Batman person, Bruce Wayne is Batman. Like Batman. What I'm saying is, when he's under the mask and all that, that's Bruce Wayne.
Right.
If you really think about his Playboy persona, that's the mantle. You see what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean, right? He is Batman, but
and there's been stories where the Joker, like in the comics, had no interest of fighting Batman anymore because he knew it wasn't the one he.
Yeah, because they knew it wasn't him.
Yeah,
but that's kind of interesting, though. Yeah. But that was kind of interesting. I did like that because then it was like they kind of knew the difference.
Yeah.
So like there was something distinct about him. I think they should try it, to be honest. I think they should try it. People are not going to be in favor for it. I get that. But you kind of have to do something new, right? That's the problem with Marvel and, I mean, to some extent DC, but DC hasn't really been putting out much, so it's kind of hard to say. But like Marvel isn't really taking any chances. Batman's a character that we've seen a lot.
Oh.
Right, we've seen so many different versions of him.
They're taking a big chance of Sam Wilson. I know he was in the movie as Captain America, but they're taking a big chance Anthony Mackie could lead the Captain America mantle. Like,
well, I mean that to me is not. Yes, I agree with that. I do agree with that, but I think it's a little bit of a different kind of risk. It's kind of a dumb risk in my.
Batman's a bigger risk.
Yeah, that other one's a bigger risk. That one I think can go 50-50. You can have a bunch of people hate the idea, but I think you could also have a bunch of people actually warm up to it and actually appreciate it. Like it's kind of like with Miles and Spider-Man, because I was always a defender of Miles ever since he debuted, but people always thought Miles was a shit character. I never believed that. I never believed that Miles was a shit character. I always thought Miles was actually a character with a lot of potential. right? And I always keep saying his stuff with his dad and his uncle was super interesting. It was very relatable to me. I could kind of understand why he was like such a, he didn't want to fail his dad, but he loved his uncle, right? And now he's a super popular character. And it's like, I get why he was a super popular character. So many people knocked on it. And that's why I think Dick Grayson is such a different Batman, right? Similar to Miles being a different Spider-Man, that people might embrace it. That's my only reason why I would say you should do that instead. It's different, it's unique. He's a different character all entirely, and he has such a different approach. Just see what would happen if you made that movie. That's my take on it.
It will take a lot of balls to do that. I'll say that.
If James Gunn greenlights that, I will. He can be Phil Spencer, but I'll give him credit for that one.
Mm-hmm. That's a make or break kind of thing for James Gunn right there, because
he needs to take you stuff like that.
Because I could tell you one thing: the Batman purists would not like it.
Right.
And I guess I could almost pretend me, I'm open to a lot of stuff. But when it comes to Batman, I understand the character, because I have a philosophy book on Batman and stuff. I understand.
Yeah, Batman, you love Batman. I get it.
Yeah.
I know you for sure. Yeah, you bring up anytime. It's like, no, Batman would never do that. Batman would do this. But yeah, right. I know. It's Batman, definitely hard. It's definitely hard to accept Dick Grayson as Batman, but yeah.
The thing is like there's a lot of villains you cannot use for Dick Grayson's Batman from Batman's Rogue Gallery. You cannot use Joker because Joker would never it wouldn't work with Joker. The reason why the Joker and Batman Bruce Wayne's Batman work together so well, why they so connect or the yin and yang, is because both of them, arguably Joker. Let's be honest, Joker has a tragic. Let's be honest, he has a tragic origin story. We know, over the years, there's been different origins of it. We don't know exactly 100% which one, but let's be honest, it's at least it's tragic. Instead of fighting it, instead of going fighting it, he just accepts it that life is meaningless and the only thing living for is just having fun and Batman. But Bruce Wayne is the opposite, right? Bruce Wayne could have gone down the road as Joker could, but he decided not to because he decided not to. He tries to fight and make sure nothing happens to other people that happened to him. Joker basically gave up. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Joker did give up. That's why I always felt, I always agreed with what Alan Moore said was that.
You there? George, is here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I know you. Blinded? I think I hear you there. I heard.
Okay.
What are you saying? Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Just back and he just leaves. But you're right.
Did you see the first? I know you saw the first image of Kraven. What the hell? Why does it look like they're trying to make Kraven look like one of those epic characters from those long
I want to
movies
get the picture.
from the 50s and 60s?
Let me get the picture.
What are you trying to do? Make Kraven Spartacus? What the hell?
See if I could get it. Where is it? Let me get on Twitter. Maybe you... Yeah, I got it. Okay, let me upload it.
In the
what were you saying about the Joker? Because you cut off when you're saying about
I cut off because
my
headset I tapped it and it disconnected.
Okay.
Sorry. Hold on.
So you're saying about Alan Moore and the Joker?
Yeah, so Alan Moore always said that the Joker was a pathetic character and he was never supposed to be relatable.
Hey, Anthony.
Because he essentially, he could have redeemed himself, right? He actually had a good life going for him. He just had to work on it, right? He just had to keep working and things would have, fallen into place. But instead he was such a coward that he took the worst possible path, right? He went into the Red Hood gang, he messed up, and it's like he could. And the thing is, right, like, and that's why I always say the ending of The Killing Joke. So many people misinterpret it because it's really about that joke that Joker tells the Batman. It's about their relationship, right? It's about the fact that Batman wants to help the Joker, but the Joker just doesn't trust Batman enough to actually let him help him, right? So, and I always felt like that was never explored in a movie, and it's very interesting, right? Because they always portray, and I always say Batman should believe in rehabilitation, and that's the reason why he doesn't kill his
Matt Reeves.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, I hope Matt Reeves does that, right? But like Batman shouldn't. My whole thing is because some people are like, oh, it doesn't matter if Batman kills or Batman should kill. In my opinion, I think it would defeat the whole entire purpose of Batman if he kills. That's my opinion. That's
I don't get the people. I don't get the people why people don't want Batman to have like a compassionate side to himself. You know what makes a hero great?
He's working with he's supposed to. First off, they say that this guy studied criminology. He's so well versed in the criminal justice system.
He knows
nobody in the system. There are some people obviously who still believe in retribution and punishment, like severe punishment, right? But a lot of people do advocate for rehabilitation. And I always felt that it is kind of messed up that Batman, who is supposed to actually be helping people, would kill other people. To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
People don't understand when heroes go down that line, regular citizens are going to fear you. They're not going to love you. They're going to fear you. They're going to fear you.
Well, it's messed up that someone imagine if we did that with everybody, right? Like, and remember, this is a comic book character, but you have to remember his whole philosophy is that he doesn't want someone to be like him, where his parents are shot down dead because someone who actually was, a criminal. He was broke. He was just trying to essentially rob the Waynes because, whether he wanted to feed sometimes I never know what the main motivation of Joe Chill is, but I always like
to change it a lot. They change it.
Yeah, they always changing it, right? That's why I'm like, I don't.
I just like the idea Joe Chill was poor and trying to steal money.
Exactly. That's what it should be. It should be super simple, right? Because that's the problem, right? If we actually help people and they weren't in that same position, a lot of crimes would go down, right? I think a lot of people don't understand that concept, but it's true. That does happen. There's statistics that prove that, right? So that's what Batman should be. He should be the shining example of like, hey, these villains, they should get rehabilitation, right? And then you put in that question, like, can they be either rehabilitated? Is there something that's preventing them, right? That's the part of the story, right? That's the conflict, right? Of like, and it can just keep going for how long you want it to be. But you should never kill any villains, in my opinion. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean,
it defeats the whole purpose of Batman.
The rumor is they're Two-Face might enter the Batman universe, right? Matt Reeves universe,
right?
There's a perfect example right there where he believes in rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation.
Like Two-Face is a perfect villain. Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, you could do that. He's also supposed to be we don't have that here. What's that called in the States? I always blank on them. The DA, right?
District Attorney.
He's District Attorney. So I mean he is a lawyer by trade. He's getting into politics and stuff. So yeah, he should also be like that too, right? He should be a defense attorney, right? That makes sense. And he's trying to help people, right? And that's why him and Bruce, because a lot of times, like in the Telltale game, they kind of portray him like he's a friend of Bruce, like a really good friend.
Yes.
And then he kind of goes off on the edge, right? That's the portrayal I like, right? It's like he's always trying to help people and he goes off the edge, right? So
because if you know Two-Face's origin, like he comes from an abusive household, father and stuff. His father was a cop,
right?
And
right.
when he got involved with the mafia, right, trying to take down the mafia, stuff like that, that really like stressed him out and stuff. But once he got the acid in his face, that's what really broke him.
Right. It
Right.
like split him, and then he has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope also too they take some inspiration from Grant Morrison's Two-Face, because that was also interesting too, especially what's that comic? The Arkham Asylum comic where he lets Batman go, even though he technically could have killed him, right? So it still shows that he has some morals to him, right?
Here's the thing: it's Oscar Isaac's willing to be Two-Face now, and because if he's Moon Knight, like we don't know what's happening with Moon Knight.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Oscar Isaac as Two-Face. I think that's an interesting casting.
You know,
he's definitely not that good as Moon Knight. So
I saw the casting of two actors. I forgot who the other one was, but I saw Josh Hartnett. Hartnett was one of them. I forget the other one.
Who was the other actor? I feel like it was a well-known modern current actor.
Yeah, it has to be.
Who was it? Yeah, who was it? I'm now gonna have to look.
Like Josh Hartnett is actually like under the radar, been doing solid things. He's not as big as
he hasn't been around. Yeah,
but he's doing some underrated stuff, like under the radar stuff.
I'm trying to think. Where was that? That was like, was that like 2 weeks ago? My timeline is so messed up.
Mr. Freeze, the perfect villain for the perfect actor for Mr. Freeze is John Lithgow.
Oh yeah, it was Joel Egerton.
Joel Egerton, not a bad idea. But John Lithgow as Mr. Freeze is perfect casting because John Lithgow could play a great villain. John Lithgow, he's not just a comedic actor. He could play a sadistic villain, but he can also play a compassionate villain. What's the villain called? When a tragic villain. I think he'll do a good job as Mr. Freeze because he could do that voice, right? Like Mr. Freeze's voice, like it's a cold day. I don't know. It's cold. Nobody's gonna stop me from saving my wife. Not even you, Batman. I don't know how Mr. Freeze would talk. You know how Mr. Freeze talks, right? Like that cold. Not like how Arnold Schwarzenegger talks with the tone. But like how you see in the games. How you think the games, Mr. Freeze in the games or in the show, like a cold tone, you know?
Right.
Like I think he could do that. I could think Mr. John Lithgow could pull that off. Like I think those are two most tragic villains. I think you could do the Matt Reeves universe. I know what other tragic villains are there. There's Clayface. I don't know if Clayface is.
Well, there's a lot, right? There's a lot you can do. I'm just at this point. I'm curious what he does. I'll definitely check it out. The Batman's a great movie. But I wouldn't be surprised at the rate that we're going. Like, it could be delayed. Because someone was trolling on Twitter, and they said, "Oh, it's getting pushed back to 2027." I was like, "Oh my god!"
The Batman 2?
Yeah.
Someone was making a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke tweet, but I was fuming.
I mean, I can see it being pushed back maybe because of the strike, but I don't think 2 years. Like,
yeah, that was. I mean, like it just you never know, right? Like the Batman got delayed. How many times, right? It was supposed to come out in 2021, June 2021, and it was supposed to be October 2021.
But they don't have that excuse anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, well, they have the writer's strike, and the actors go on strike, that would be pretty bad.
If the writer's strike takes as long as how the pandemic is, I mean, I'll be plenty surprised if that's the case. Because let's be honest, obviously we did have during the pandemic, we did have some movies during the we did at the beginning of it, like New Mutants, Tenet, right? But let's be honest, movies started to get back into theaters around May 2021. So basically a year after the pandemic started. That's not going to happen with the writer strike. I don't think the writer strike is going to last a year. I don't think that's the case.
I don't think it's going to last a year, but what happens if it goes? Because I think it's going to happen. Okay, this month is halfway through. It's going to be done.
6 weeks, 7 weeks. Yeah.
I think it may.
No, they said it's been pushed to next year. Don't you remember, Degrassi? They said it was pushed to next year.
The filming for next year? Oh, wow.
The Batman 2 has been pushed to next year.
I thought it was November, too. When did they say that? Was it January? January?
They said it was been pushed from November to next year. I think. Don't you remember that, George? I think you knew that, right?
Wait, what?
No, I don't. I don't think George knew that either.
It was supposed to start filming.
That it got pushed back.
Yeah, it's gonna start early.
It's
early 2024.
Yeah, early 2024. Yeah.
Oh well. Then maybe it would get delayed.
If the strike continues, it could be pushed back even more. Like 2025.
Could it be possible that the strike goes past September?
Yeah, if the strike goes past September, all the 2025 days, there's a possibility Superman Legacy may not reach this date.
Well, well, if the script is already locked, I don't see. Besides a couple of stuff. No.
This movie is not. I'll tell you about Anthony. This movie will not be filming once the actors go on strike.
Yeah, if the actors go on strike, but the August, we're still 2 months away from August. So,
Bad Bunny. Fuck, I know he's huge, but like, come on.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I see what you did there, buddy.
There's gonna be a long Halloween.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think if you think about it, right, Degrassi, don't they want this movie to come out early? Because if this is running into 2026, then that Brave and the Bold movie's not coming out until 2027.
Oh no. Yeah, that's coming out after the Batman.
Yeah. It's got to, right? Yeah.
So if this is the case, when's Batman 3 going to come out?
Is there even going to be a Batman 3?
They want to, right? That's the plan, right? That's the finish, right? The exclamation point on the Matt Reeves universe, right? That's the idea of Batman 3. I mean, just remember they said the Penguin, Batman 2, and maybe the Arkham show, right?
Oh yeah, the Penguin show. I completely forgot about that.
And that's shut down right now. I mean, movies could be pretty like 2024. I mean, where is the Marvels right now? Could Marvels possibly be delayed, even though it's basically done finished? Could that be delayed because of the strikes? I don't know. Like, right? I mean, you can't do reshoots for stuff. No, it didn't wrap.
Well, you could.
Yeah, it didn't wrap. No. It's gonna be weird. Like, I really hope we don't get a 2009 situation where all the movies like sucked.
Oh yeah, that was a weird year.
That's probably gonna happen.
You know, the thing is, here's the thing: the best movies that came out in 2009 were animated movies.
Yeah, because that
was a great year for animation, in my opinion.
Spider-Verse is gonna be fine. The third movie is gonna be fine, right?
But the third movie is it's not done.
No,
that movie's probably not gonna come out for a long time. I don't know why it's been dated, but they said that they haven't even started working on that.
They haven't even started voice acting, the voice recording.
Yeah. And the last voice recording apparently took 4 years.
Oh
crap!
So you're saying they were filming? They were not filming. They were recording the voices for 4 years. For that movie.
Yeah. They were working on this movie up until April, May, until it completely locked. So I don't think that's going to make it smart.
They don't have a right to complain. Try working in video games.
I hope it's not 4 years. I hope it's not another 4 years, but I could see it being another 2 years.
Hey, no need to complain. Try working in video games.
Yeah, video games, man. People just got to accept, man. Video games is going to take 5 years. And if you're a rock star, it's going to take you 10 years.
Yeah. Well,
And if you're Naughty Dog too, I bet it's going to take 10 years. I don't think Naughty Dog's next game is going to come out anytime soon.
man, there was like rumors of a reboot Uncharted.
Yeah, there's a rumor. There's a rumor there. Well, it's either a reboot or a sequel. We'll see.
But it's not going to be Drake because Drake's the fourth game was supposed to be his ending. His daughter,
well, if
right?
it's a reboot, then it would be Drake. If it's a sequel, then I think it's going to be his daughter, or it might be
his brother.
Not his brother. I forget her name. I'm totally blanking on that.
No, Chloe?
No. What's her name? Chloe. Yeah. I think it would be Chloe.
Oh yeah.
Chloe was actually pretty good in The Lost Legacy, so I don't see why you wouldn't have her. She's a pretty cool character.
I'm pretty sure Ping One did shut down. Let me check.
I thought it did too, because wasn't Colin oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Colin what's his name? Yeah, right. He was on the picket lines. He was there, like protesting. So I thought it did shut down, and he was protesting in New York. So its final week of filming was suspended last month. Oh shit. Okay. So it's pretty much done.
Yeah, I think it's
shoot that movie.
Yeah, it was close to being done. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
That does suck. Also, I want Blinded. I want your thoughts on this. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I did see that in the chat. Yeah,
looks bad, huh?
Craven's gonna be a dumpster.
I don't know what the context of this is, so I'm not gonna judge it too much. This could be like some training montage, and that's not his costume.
I think it is.
Oh, we're gonna play Rocky music.
Yeah, Rocky music or something. Isn't the timing for this weird? That this is coming out in October, and then the Spider-Man 2 with Craven comes out in October.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this looks better than him as Pietro, because Pietro in Age of Ultron, he looked ridiculous.
Yeah, he did look ridiculous. Well, I'm curious. This movie's probably gonna be bad, but I might actually watch this over Morbius because I still haven't watched.
Oh,
Morbius.
I think so. I think it'll be better than Morbius.
I hope.
I mean, it has a better casting too. Like, I mean, Russell Crowe and it has a better supporting cast.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, what the story's actually going to be, and
he's gonna be fighting for the animals. He's not gonna be hunting them. He's gonna be defending them. He's gonna, Craven Craven, pet detective. I'm kidding. He put his favorite movies by Ace Ventura. I don't know. It's supposed to be, apparently the premise is him protecting animals, right? Instead of like hunting them. But they feel that's offensive. When they're doing it in the video game, they're saying true to his character in the video game. It's okay to get away with the video game, but it's not okay to get away with the movie, I guess. I don't know. I wonder how his Russian accent will sound.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I'm not expecting much. I'm not going to expect a phenomenal movie. I mean, but I did like Venom 2, surprisingly. I don't know why, but I liked it more than the first one. So,
Aaron Taylor Johnson as Superman? Nah.
Really? I think I'm okay.
Wait, you want another? Maybe do a better accent here than he did for Age of Ultron. Probably be a similar accent. A Sokovian accent and a Russian accent probably sound similar. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, a Sokovian accent is pretty much Eastern European, right?
Right.
So, but well, who knows? Maybe with some Russian here. I don't know. Like Russell Crowe, he'll have a Russian accent, right?
Oh, if it's Russell Crowe, most likely, yeah. Yeah, he's actually gonna try to do an accent.
It's It's very hard to do an Eastern European accent. It's really hard.
Yeah, I could never do it.
Yeah. Like American accent. I know there's a bunch of accents out there that are in America, but it's really easy to do American accents. America is easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really easy. I'm telling you that. It's one of the easiest. British English, I know there's a bunch of English accents, but they're pretty hard. Australian, same thing. But like Eastern European, really difficult. Really, really difficult. Like it's really, really difficult. And there's some actors that could do it and some can't. Good. It should be back to the East Coast because Metropolis. The problem is Metropolis. Lately Metropolis has been middle, same as Smallville, but Metropolis has always been an eastern coastal city. Right? It's always been East Coast city. Usually, right? Instead of city in the middle. It's not been Kansas, right? It's not like. Let's see. Oh, this game is pretty much over. 8-3. Yeah, the Knights are going to win the Stanley Cup. But Craven, man. Maybe it'd be a good movie. I doubt, but maybe you never know. You know what?
I'm thinking middle ground kind of movies.
You know what movie nobody's talking about? It has a good cast. The Asteroid City movie.
The Asteroid
Nobody's
City?
talking about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't even like Wes Anderson, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
That and Transformers, I just don't care. Well, I'll probably eventually watch Elemental. I'm actually considering. I'm like, do I really want to see Indiana Jones? I love Indiana Jones, but I don't know if the movie is, if it is just generic, I don't really want to watch it. Like I'm kind of just like I actually want good Indiana Jones. I don't want just
I'm worried about that too. I'm worried about that movie too, man.
Yeah, the only movie I'm obviously extremely excited. I'm gonna watch it in IMAX. Is Mission Impossible 7.
Apparently, Indiana Jones gets divorced from Marion in that movie. They get divorced.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, man? You haven't seen each other for 20, 30 years, and you get a divorce? Come on, like it's so stupid. Is that a bad Shia LaBeouf character ruined that relationship? Did they ruin the relationship with yours too? They might ruin that relationship. I'm like, you see my pointer. Like they haven't seen each other for 20, 30 years between the first movie and the fourth movie, and then the fifth movie apparently they get divorced. Like that's so stupid. Right. It's really bad. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here, guys. Almost 3 hours. This game is pretty much over. It's like it's been over since the first period. I'll be honest with you, but that was like 2 hours ago. Indiana Jones was a heavy drinker. Yeah, because he had mud as a son.
Oh man. We'll see. We'll have to see about that movie.
Yeah. So go ahead, George. Plug yourself.
You can find me at the George. I recently reviewed Bumblebee and Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I plan on seeing The Flash this weekend and doing a review on it. And I announced this on Blue Jay Stream last night, but I'll say here for anyone who didn't watch, my next review series, I come to the decision I'll be reviewing the 4 Indiana Jones films before Dial of Destiny. I'm probably going to be reviewing Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom sometime next week, and then review the other two the following week before Dial of Destiny comes out. And just giving a heads up, starting from July to the middle end of August, my activity will be limited most likely to weekends due to my work hours changing and playing a bigger role at work this summer. So I'm just giving the heads up, but I do also want to do a stream at some point after The Flash on the topic of superhero fatigue. But yeah, you can find me at the George, and I'll put my link in the chat.
Nice.
And I finally got
Temple
to
is a pretty cool.
Yep.
I know. Yeah, we know.
Don't forget Temple's pretty cool.
It is. He's right.
You put it in caps too. I know it is. People forget, but yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, Blind and Go. If you have anything.
I don't really have anything to plug.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think to plug either. Oh, maybe do Let's Talk Pop, but the problem is I kind of talked about what I was going to talk about on Let's Talk Pop here. But there's but the thing is, this is my sports channel, and I didn't talk about anything about sports on it. So maybe I'll do Let's Talk Pop tomorrow or Thursday. Basically, talking about the same stuff that we talked about here. So what you said here, come prepared again.
Well,
Thursday,
hopefully, maybe there's more news. There's probably going to be more news.
Yeah.
Bad news. I'm going to predict. Always bad news.
Yeah, so thank you guys for coming on. Do me a favor, guys. Whoever is listening, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Take care, guys. Bye.
Peace.